From Hollywood, we present Bride and Groom. With your master of ceremonies, John Nelson.
Thank you very much. Thank you, and good afternoon. Well, it's a lovely, warm summer day in California as we greet another bride and groom wedding party here at the beautiful Chapman Park Hotel on Broadwilshire Boulevard. The true love story that will unfold before us very shortly started in San Diego, California, where our pretty young bride answered an advertisement for a position with a firm in which her future groom was employed. Although she might have expected to get the job, she certainly did not expect to get a husband out of it, but actually she got both. And incidentally, this young couple was chosen as the most typical young American couple by officials of the San Diego County Fair from that area and sent here, so I think you can see that they'll have a grand story and be wonderful youngsters. But we'll hear this from them, the story of their romance, just before they go out through the garden here to the old chapel where the clergyman waits. Right now, Jack McElroy.
Every day, more and more people are learning the truth about dandruff, are discovering that to get real relief from the most common kind of dandruff, they must destroy the germ called Pityrosporum ovale, which many outstanding authorities say is its cause. You see, merely washing or brushing away loose dandruff has no effect whatsoever on this germ. But one thing that does work is double danderine. For double danderine gets at the cause and destroys it, actually kills this germ on contact. Even in severe cases, results with double danderine have been amazing. And the reason for double danderine's astonishing effectiveness is this. It contains a special ingredient, an active antiseptic so remarkably efficient many hospitals use it. In double danderine, we call it Alzan. So stop trying to combat this dandruff with ineffective methods that actually are no better than plain water. They can't compare with double danderine, for double danderine destroys the cause. Now remember, if you're not completely satisfied, return the empty bottle and you'll get your money back. Get double danderine today. Here come the bride and the groom. So off they go to Buffalo, or maybe Maine or Kokomo. Here comes the bride, she didn't even say maybe. Here comes the bride, she said yes.
Oh, my, another attractive young bride and very handsome young fellow. Probably a little nervous. I'd like to introduce our bride and groom to you. Our bride is Miss Barbara Shoup, I believe. Is that right?
Shoup.
Shoup, you pronounce it.
Almost there.
Mm-hmm. And
Robert Edward Dodero.
Robert
Jr.
Edward Dodero Jr.
Yeah.
That's a lot of names. Tell me, if you will, are you a little bit nervous or something?
Oh, a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Trifle.
Expected to be. You've been planning this how long, this day?
Since last October.
Looking forward to
Mm-hmm.
it. Grand. Well, supposing you tell us about you, Barbara. Let's get acquainted.
Well, my name is Barbara Shoup, and I'm 19. I was born in National City, and I live in San Diego now. Went to school in San Diego, and live at home with just my mother and dad.
You're an only child?
Yes, I am. Afraid so.
I shouldn't be afraid. I think a groom should, maybe. Is she spoiled, would you say?
A little bit.
Do you have any plans to change that, to correct it, to get her a little spoiled?
Change her to my way.
You will?
Yeah.
Well, no, I've been married 5 years. Oh, we're only teasing, Bob. We know you'll be very happy. Tell us about you.
I'm 22, and I was born in San Diego, and I live in National City. And I went to
school there?
School in San Diego, and went to high school in National City, and then finished high school at vocational in San Diego.
I see. And your occupation?
I'm a radio technician.
Good. And, by the way, how many in your family?
7 altogether. 3 brothers and 1 sister, and mother and father, myself.
Mm-hmm. That makes 7. That adds up. Well, I'm always surprised when we come out even on this. Where are you a radio technician, Bob?
Dobler Brothers in San...
What is it?
Dobler Brothers in San Diego.
Well, your boss is listening?
Well, he probably is.
Let's give him a good, little push, and maybe they'll get a raise for you.
Dobler Brothers in San Diego.
What is the address, Bob?
2146 Logan Avenue.
And the phone number?
Franklin 95168.
And if anyone has any radio work they want done, get a hold of Robert Edmund?
Edward Dodero.
Edward.
Dodero.
Robert Edward Dodero, Jr.
Yeah.
Now, if that boss isn't a tightwad, he'll sure fix you up.
He's got
He on the spot.
he's got a Burlingame store, too.
A Burlingame store.
Yeah.
Well, we've heard in Burlingame, so same thing goes. Well, enough advertising for the moment, or our sponsors will wonder who's paying for this program. But we wanted, of course, hear your love story as much as you care to tell us just before you go out to sort of say your wedding vows out in the chapel. So who's going to start off?
I'll let her.
You have the honor. So
thank you.
Go ahead, Barbara.
Well, it was very interesting. I went to...
Oh, I'm sure it was. And it's still going to be more interesting. So how long ago did this all happen?
it was last July.
I see.
And it's just a year ago. I went into Dober Brothers. I was going in to apply for a job there. And a very cute-looking boy was coming out at the same time. It was a terrible crash. And
you bumped into each other?
Yes, head-on collision. And, we both backed off and said, pardon me, and went on our way. But it sort of made an impression on both of us. And
yes, a horrible crash like that probably certainly was. Yes? So?
And, I guess Bob, or Ed, I call him Ed, persuaded the boss to hire me from
Wait a
among
minute,
the others.
Is that right? You got the job?
Uh-huh. Oh, yes.
I did a little bit of talking to help her out.
Uh-huh.
I didn't know her, though.
You what?
I didn't know her, though.
But you knew that if she got the job, you could get acquainted.
Uh-huh.
You wasn't trying to do the boss a favor. So you got the job right away.
Yes, uh-huh.
And you went to work there. What department did you work in?
In the record department, and, once in a while I went to the radio department because he was in there. It was much more interesting in there.
Well, what is your department again?
Radio department.
Repairs and so on.
Yes.
And you had some problems with repairs that
I
you
had
done
to
there.
go ask him a few questions. You know.
Did you have much business in the record department?
Once in a while I had to get Scotch tape, hold things together.
There goes that raise. Boss will find out how you two been carried on.
Come on, now.
Yes. Well, anyway, so you worked there. How long was it before Ed, did you call him? May I call you Ed?
That's right.
I'll call you Ed, Reverend Bob. How long before Ed got around to asking you for a date, since that's what he had in mind in the first place?
It was just a week later, and
Did you get the date?
No.
Well, the reason was that I said yes, and we were all set to go. And my parents were on a vacation in L.A., and I remembered I had to go home and water the lawn of all the horrible things, so I couldn't go.
Feed the cat.
Yeah, feed the cat. But he wouldn't, I don't think he'd believe me. I think about a week ago I convinced him that was the truth. I think he thought I had a date with someone else.
Did you think that, Ed?
No.
Honest?
Honest.
Just cross your heart? Well, we settled that problem. That'll never come up again.
Yeah,
So anyway, did he ask you again?
Oh, yes, He asked me for the date the next Saturday, and I already had a date, and so we couldn't go out then.
Well, you sure had trouble getting started, didn't you?
Well, and then the next week he asked, and he said, "No, are you sure you can go? You can't think of anything you have to do." I said, "No." So we shook hands on it, so it was a date.
It was a date.
Uh-huh.
Where'd you go?
Well, we went to downtown and ate and went to a show, and it was a comedy show, and we sat there and laughed, and we discovered we both... Yeah, Bob Hope.
Monsieur Bouquet. Bob Hope.
That's a Paramount picture, I believe. Must be a good one. But anyway, I just wonder, I'm amazed at you two remembering a picture for a whole year, particularly when you were sitting so close together.
But we discovered...
Did you hold hands in the movie?
No. He put his arm around the back of the seat, but that was all.
Looked a little disappointed about it.
No, it was all right.
So then you had something to eat and went home. Did you ask her for another date soon, Ed?
Well, yes, but the next week I asked her to go out, and we went ice skating.
Well, then your third date was another week apart?
Yes.
Only one date a week?
Well, it got going so we had 2 dates a week.
How soon did you start going at 2 dates a week?
Third week, I think.
And then when did it get even more steady?
When we were going Wednesday and Saturday.
And Sunday, too. We started going out 3 times a week, but we couldn't go anymore because we had to work, and the boss didn't like us. We had bags under our eyes every day.
You know, we're learning more about the boss down there, Dobler Brothers, than about everybody else. Well, anyway, so when did you start going steady?
in September. It was 18th of September.
About 3 or 4 months.
That's right.
Tell me, if you will, please, on which date. This is very indicative. I mean, because youngsters that are so attractive from the beginning, he turns his business upside down to get near you. On which date did Ed first try to kiss you?
Well, it was in September, too. I mean...
He didn't try to kiss you from July to September?
That's right. I guess I would have went in before, but I think he wanted to make up his mind. It meant something to him, and I liked it better that way.
Sure.
Because
but you would have liked it sooner.
Uh-huh.
Well, honey, don't blush. Don't you be bashful at all. I think that's very sweet.
Well,
That's very cute.
I mean, I really liked him.
Sure you liked him, but you knew that he was being very
That's
sincere
right,
about it. Well, how long had you gone with her before you decided you'd fallen in love, Ed?
Oh, the next month.
You mean
October. September.
You kissed her, let's see, July you meet her. August you start going steady. September you kiss her.
No, you got twisted, huh?
How was it again? July you met the girl. In
Yeah.
August you started going steady.
September
going steady.
We kissed him about a week before we started
Kissed
going
you a week before, and then in October you fell in love.
That's right.
That's the natural sequence of events. How could you tell you'd fallen in love? I mean, what were the symptoms? What did it feel like inside you? That's a pretty good description. How about you, honey? How long had you gone with him when you decided you were falling in love?
I guess about the same
About
time.
the same time? Maybe a little sooner?
It might have been, yes.
Just a little bit sooner.
Uh-huh.
How did it feel to you?
Well, we just enjoyed being together all the time, and we never quarreled, and we just liked everything
You
the
never had
same.
any quarrels?
We never have. No.
I hope you never do.
I hope we never do either. We see each other every day, and we haven't so far, so it's
Sure,
pretty
well, I
good.
think you'll be able to do that. Makes you great very well. What are your plans? You're going to live in San Diego?
Yes.
You're going to build your own home then?
We hope eventually. Yes. Save some money first.
Settle down then, maybe go into business yourself.
Oh, maybe so.
Someday.
Think about it.
You won't go into competition with your present boss, will you?
No.
That is if he gives you that raise.
That's right.
Yes.
Okay. Well, how long had you gone together when Ed proposed to you, Barbara?
It was in October, the 21st of
And
October.
where were you and what were you doing?
Well, he used to go on calls and pick up some deliveries in the truck, and we would write each other notes, and I'd wait for him after work if he was late, and he wrote me a particularly thick note one day. And
What do you mean thick?
Well, it was about 5 pages.
Oh, I thought you meant something else.
No. But anyhow, and he handed it to me, and then he walked off, and I opened it up, and inside was a picture of the 3 paths that we had followed before we came to work together, and then 2 separate paths we could follow through life, or the 1 path we could go on together through life. And he just asked me which path I'd like to follow. On this, it was all written out.
Well, no, you didn't have nerve enough to ask her directly, did you?
No.
You bet
Easier
not.
that way.
It's easier. So what did you do?
Well, he came back in a few minutes, and I was thinking it over, and he asked me what I thought, and I said I'd like to take the path together. So from then on, we were engaged, but no one knew it but us. It was a secret.
When did you let anybody find out about it?
About 3 weeks ago.
Oh! Well, we better get you 2 started down that path together. You can start right now. We have for the bride her beautiful bouquet designed to match that lovely gown by Mr. John Patrick Burke, our famous floral artist of Beverly Hills. It's a cascade arrangement of white carnations, white asters, and maidenhair fern, tied with white satin streamers, and the removable corsage is made of 3 large mystery gardenias. Maid of Honor's bouquet is an arm bouquet made entirely of sweetheart roses tied with sharpest ribbon. Very beautiful, like all of Mr. Burke. You are
Beverly Billings?
related to them?
No, I'm not.
Miss
Just a
or
friend.
Mrs.?
Miss.
Yes. Have any plans of your own?
I think so.
And you, sir?
John Tregelga of San Diego.
And your relationship?
None. His friend.
You have any? Are you married?
No.
Any plans?
Yes, sir.
You 2 plans? Well, it could be. All we have for the best man, the bride's wedding ring. As you folks see here, it's a beautiful diamond band, exquisitely tiny, beautifully designed. Selected from Brock and Company of Beverly Hills and Los Angeles, one of the truly outstanding firms in jewelry. Very beautiful indeed. And selected by our bride, and it will be very beautiful, I think. Yes, do you have on something old? And you?
Yes.
Borrowed?
Yes.
And blue?
Afraid so. Yes.
Always prepared for me. Pin in your shoe?
Yes,
You do have, you got everything in. And
Uh-huh.
the name of your love song?
It's known forever.
Now and Forever. Well, that's what it'll be, because you're starting down that path that he asked you about right now. And as you do, I'll go down the path, leads to the altar. There from its beautiful grounds of the Chaplin Park Hotel, Jack McElroy sings their love song.
Now and forever through
Thank you, Jack. That was Jack McElroy singing and Gaylord Carter playing, as they do very nicely. Folks, since this young couple were selected in competition with all the other young couples in San Diego County as the most typical young American couple in San Diego County, I think they did a grand job of selecting, don't you? You betcha. Well, I want to introduce to you here briefly and hear a little bit about the fair. Mr. Don Diego of San Diego, of the San Diego County Fair. Don, it's grand to have you here.
Good to be here, John.
Tell me a little bit about the fair, if you will, please.
Well, John, the fair opened last Thursday, and it closes July the 6th. There's so many beautiful exhibits there, I don't know where to start. It would take me an hour. However, I do want to mention our very beautiful flower show and our own giant musical, Fiestacade, which stars Leo Carrillo and features songs of old Spain and Mexico.
Good, fine.
It's really a wonderful fair. Everyone should see it.
Well, I'm sure they all will who are down in that direction. Maybe some even drive down from here.
I hope so.
How many more days does it run?
Till July the 6th.
Mm-hmm. I wish that you'd convey to all the people at the fair our thanks of bride and groom Don for selecting this wonderful young couple and for all of the work and scouting around to get the very best, most typical young American couples in that county.
Indeed, I will, John. I'll do that today.
Thank you very much, Don Diego. And right now, let's listen to our own Jack McElroy.
If you seek business or social success, remember that mouth acids are constantly at work trying to spoil your appearance. These acids are present in everyone's mouth, and many leading dentists explain that they're a major cause of tooth decay. Now, you can't combat mouth acids with top efficiency by using a toothpaste that simply cleans teeth and sweetens breath. Any toothpaste will do those jobs. But one toothpaste that does more is Phillips Milk and Magnesia toothpaste. Yes, Phillips toothpaste also does the vital job of combating mouth acids on contact, and thus helps guard against decay of your teeth. And it does this because it's made from one of the most effective neutralizers of mouth acids ever discovered. An acid neutralizer whose remarkable efficiency is recognized by dentists everywhere. In addition, Phillips toothpaste brightens your teeth beautifully, and its cool, minty flavor wakes up your mouth, leaves your breath cleaner, fresher, sweeter. So for everything that any toothpaste can give you, plus the protective advantage that Phillips provides against mouth acids, get Phillips Milk and Magnesia toothpaste. Today, ask for Phillips. Phillips toothpaste.
Joe. Thank you, Jack McElroy. Now for the very important job of describing our bride's outfit, we're very pleased to have a very charming young lady, a starlet from Paramount Studios, a young lady named Margaret Field. Will you come up here, Miss Field? This young lady, like almost all professional people, knows a great deal about fashions, and so we'll just have you describe her, if you will, please.
Well, she had on a beautifully simple white nylon satin gown with, I'd say, modified dolman sleeves that were very tight at the wrist and were a little point over her hand. And it had what I'd call a keyhole neckline and a very tight bodice coming out to a hoop skirt. It was very lovely.
How about the veil?
Well, she had on a Juliet cap made of Chantilly lace with a fingertip veil. And she had a lovely ring. Beautiful.
Oh, the one we...
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. And the bridesmaid, was it the maid of honor? Bridesmaid had on a chartreuse dress.
The maid of honor, I beg your pardon, sir.
Maid of honor. Yes. She had on a chartreuse dress with fuchsia gloves and a fuchsia hat.
Mm-hmm. Very nice stuff. You know, most of our describers, even people who've had, all sorts of experience, use little notes, and you didn't even have a note on it. You kept it on your mind.
Well, I had notes, but I memorized them.
Oh! Were you nervous about the process?
Yes, I am.
You've been in pictures for quite a little while, haven't you?
Well, about a year.
What was the last picture you made?
Dear Ruth, with Joan Caulfield and Bill Holden.
Oh, I've seen it. It's an absolutely grand comedy.
Yes, it's
I think everybody can enjoy a picture like that.
I think you can, too.
We like to see bright and gay things like that. Are you married?
Yes, I've been married for about 5 years.
Do you have any offspring at home?
Yes, I have 2, a little boy and a little girl.
Oh, wonderful. How old are they?
Well, Ricky is 3, and
that's the boy.
That's the boy, and Sally is 7 months.
Do they get harder to raise as they get older, or easier?
Well, they go through stages of being hard and then easy, and then they're hard again, and then they're easy again.
Gee, we're going to have to get together right after this program, and you can tell me about the next 2 years I have.
All right,
I'll multiply it by 2. Thanks so much, Miss Fields, for that very fine job of describing our bride's outfit. that is an important job. Until we get television, you can't picture the bride. The bride, I forgot to say, was about 5 feet 4.5, I think. And she had soft brown hair and blue eyes. And the groom, I think, is about 5'7.5" or 8, and about the same. Oh, incidentally, Mr. and Mrs. Dick Fortune, you know the couple that we sent around the world via Pan American Airways in the first round-the-world honeymoon flight in history. Well, they're really seeing these. They're on they're traveling on the Pan American Clipper America, and they're certainly seeing the sights. As you can imagine, they've flown over many of the major cities of Europe: Paris, Marseille, Rome, Naples, Athens. They've landed at Istanbul, Turkey, where they had a real Oriental breakfast. And here's a telegram from, I think you get a kick. It says, we have arrived in Karachi, India. What a colorful spot this is. We even bought a harem outfit, and boy, do I look good in it. Now, see who signed it. Actually, Chris is bringing, signed Dick. Actually, Chris is bringing the outfit home for Yvonne DiCarlo, for her Technicolor production slave girl, and it's signed, yes, Mr. and Mrs. Fortune. I just wondered about that. But they're really having fun, and we're so glad they are. Right now, I want to pay tribute to some folks here today celebrating anniversaries with us. First of all, Mr. and Mrs. Walter Robins of Los Angeles, California, who are celebrating a golden wedding anniversary. Mr. and Mrs. A.E. Torson of Hollywood, California, 51 years married today. Mr. and Mrs. Fred L. Topley of Monrovia, California, a 54th anniversary today. Mr. and Mrs. John S. McCrae of Larwell, Indiana, 55 years married today, their anniversary. But our most honored couple today for the greatest achievement, the happiest and longest anniversary celebrated today is Mr. and Mrs. Kessler. I don't know where they're from. Where are they from? Mrs. Kessler, Mr. and Mrs. Kessler, where's your home? You from Los Angeles? You live in Los Angeles? Fine. Well, you're from Pasadena. We just wanted your friends to know you're celebrating with us here. We have for you 2 gifts in gold, 2 very beautiful, very thin 17-jewel Groom Precision watches, a product of Groom Watch Company. Congratulations. Come back and see us on your next anniversary. Practically walking on air, all smiles and not so nervous anymore. It's our bride and groom. Congratulations to you, Ed. I knew you'd make the grade. Would you step right over here? We have so many lovely gifts for you. First of all, I want you to see, this is your wedding album from Bernard of Hollywood in Palm Springs. It has formal portraits and candid shot pictures of everything that took place here today for our bride and groom. To go along with it, so it's a talking picture from Capitol Records of Hollywood, a special record album of every single word said. You actually have everything that said, so just think on your anniversaries you can play the records and look back and what memories you'll have at that time. For your home, here is a beautiful Bendix radio consolette. It's a combination record player and radio. It plays and changes 10 and 12-inch records. It has a shortwave and a long wave. It's a very beautiful piece of furniture for your home, and I think that you'll be able to listen to bride and groom in a great deal of comfort on your Bendix.
Thank you. It's beautiful.
You bet it is. It's a product of the radio division of Bendix Aviation Corporation. And from our sponsors, 2 new products, Phillips Skin Cream and Cleansing Cream, presented each day to our bride to help you keep that youthful radiance, the beautiful skin complexion that you have, and your sterling silver by Gorham, of course. Since 1831, America's leading silversmith, each day Gorham presents our bride and groom their choice of a good many of their many exquisite patterns. Nocturne, Greenbrier, Chantilly, King Edward today. Complete service for 24 pieces of Gorham sterling. Because you'll want to take pictures in your honeymoon, too, because you want memories of that. Here's your famous Argoflex camera from the Argus Camera Company. With a reflex action, you can see the pictures you take it, and a year's supply of Ankin film, which will probably last you about 3 days. And this is for you, Ed. The famous Eureka home cleaning unit. You'll be able to clean up the house, believe me. Here is there are 4 types, the upright cleaner, the tank-type cleaner, there's a waxer, and 100 different attachments, believe me, and also the famous Eureka cordless automatic iron. Which yes, sir.
Special lipstick remover, too, for them.
He can use it. Here's a makeup kit for you exactly as created for the stars of Hollywood. This is from Max Factor, of course. Full of their fine makeup. And for your home, a gift to be appropriate for any bride. It'll delight you with the exclusive Winfield China dinnerware in the famous bamboo pattern for which Winfield is so famous. Complete service for 4 to go with your silver. You're really set up, aren't you? Well, now, about your honeymoon. Come on over here, if you will, please. Since you are going to be guests of the San Diego County Fair during this coming week, your honeymoon destination is one of California's most famous and most beautiful resorts. You're going to the famous Del Mar Turf and Surf Hotel, which is truly beautiful. You'll be flown down the coast in one of Western Airlines' giant Skymasters to San Diego, where a Tanner Motor Livery limousine is waiting to drive you there to Hotel Del Mar. Inside the San Diego Fair, you'll be presented at the beautiful Fiestacade show. You'll have dinner at the grounds, there, and in the evening there's a special box for you, reserved for you at the National Horse Show. There's plenty to do at the fair, but when you seek privacy, manager Owen Winslow Nichols of the Del Mar has set aside a little English cottage, kind of a honeymoon cottage, just for the two of you. I don't... Well, you didn't think there was going to be three, did you? What?
Better not.
Well, there isn't going to be. I know you two will enjoy sunning in the breathtaking garden. You can play tennis or swim on the long white beach and a beautiful pool down there. And there are many visiting spots of interest nearby to visit. All in all, when you're staying at Del Mar over your honeymoon, I know you'll have memories that you've cherished all your life. And we'll fly you back here and wait for you. Do you need anything else at all?
No, I think it's wonderful. Thank you so much.
No thanks to me. Couldn't happen to nicer people. Are you still dazed?
For the bride, our big 6-foot type rolling pin, especially for her because she's so tiny. Also, John, we have the kitchen combat model for you, darling. I'll give that to her.
Yes.
And here's the one for him to protect himself.
Oh, fine. Will you single girls get up here, please? You single girls, you aren't married. Yes, you will be, though, soon. All right, now, when I count 3, honey, you toss it. Spread out, girls. Spread out. Spread out. Here we go. 1. Oh! That's all right. You're fast. Who are you?
Bowling, Gary.
From where?
Birmingham, Alabama.
Oh, little southern gal. How old are you?
18.
You have a boyfriend?
Yes.
You got him?
No.
You're just working on it.
Yeah.
That's right. Well, good luck to you in your work. We have for you some Hollywood nylon stockings over here. I think you'll enjoy those. Good luck. And incidentally, if you want some lessons from our bride here, may I have this for the bride? I'd like to give her the bouquet. If you'd like some lessons from her on how to get the groom, just let me know. Get that boyfriend of yours make up his mind. Right now, it's our bride and groom leaving their honeymoon. Let's wish them success, happiness, a long, happy married life together. Mr. Jack McElroy, see the rest of you tomorrow.
Most of us eat too much, smoke too much, or overindulge sometime or another. When you do go overboard, remember that Phillips Milk of Magnesia quickly and dependably relieves the discomforts of acid indigestion which accompany overindulgence. As an acid stomach alkalizer, Phillips is rated among the fastest, most effective known. When taken at bedtime, it works 2 ways to banish the distress of overindulgence. It relieves heartburn, headachy, upset feeling almost at once. You sleep soundly. What's more, 2 to 4 tablespoonfuls of Phillips taken in water when necessary before retiring help you start the day sparkling, refreshed, without that logy feeling. Now ask for genuine Phillips Milk of Magnesia by its full name. That's Phillips, Phillips. Caution, use only as directed. And for economy, buy the big 50-cent size. It contains 3 times as much as the 25-cent size. Sold at all drugstores. Jack McElroy speaking. Bride and Groom with John Nelson comes to you every day, Monday through Friday, at this same time from Hollywood.
You often tired and pale? Your doctor may find you have a borderline anemia resulting from a ferronutritional blood deficiency. Get the energy you should have. Regain the color that goes with rich red blood cells with the help of ironized yeast tablets. Ironized yeast tablets. This is ABC, the American Broadcasting Company. Company. Many leading authorities say that the cause of the most common kind of dandruff is a germ called Pityrosporum ovale. To get real relief, this germ must be destroyed. Many ordinary dandruff-combating methods don't destroy it, but double danderine actually kills this germ on contact. Get double danderine.
This is a true love story, told for the people who lived it on the day of its happy ending. From Hollywood, we present Bride and Groom, with your master of ceremonies, John Nelson.
Thank you very much, folks. Thank you, and good afternoon. When our pretty brunette bride, an airline stewardess from Colorado, was offered assistance in mailing a package by 2 bemedaled Army lieutenants, little did she realize she was starting on the road to the altar. But our bride and groom wedding party here in the beautiful Chapman Park Hotel will be told more about this and why the groom's experience of talking people into things, gained as a recruiting officer, helped him get out of a rough spot during the romance. We'll learn more about this true love story from the young couple themselves just before they go out through the sun-filled garden down the tree-lined path to the little stone chapel to pronounce their marriage vows in privacy. First, it's Jack McElroy.
You know, folks, there are 2 things everyone who suffers from headaches should do. If you have frequent headaches, by all means, see your doctor. He will make an examination to find the cause of your headaches and probably correct it. If, on the other hand, you have only an occasional headache, take genuine Bayer aspirin. 2 tablets with a full glass of water the moment you feel one starting. You'll get amazingly quick relief, because Bayer aspirin starts to disintegrate within 2 seconds. To prove this, just drop a Bayer aspirin tablet in a glass of water and watch what happens. Before it reaches the bottom of the glass, it will start to disintegrate. This same 2-second disintegrating action takes place in your stomach. As a result, Bayer aspirin is ready to go to work almost instantly you take it. So for pain relief that's so fast you'll be amazed, use Bayer aspirin. And when you buy, ask for it by its full name, Bayer aspirin, never for the name aspirin alone. 24 tablets for 25 cents, virtually 1 cent a tablet. Here comes the bride, with her the groom. They're not married yet, but they will be soon.
I'd like to introduce our bride and groom. Our bride is Miss Betty Jean Marchant. Her groom is Mr. Charles Anderman. And I see that you're both smiling and very happy.
Oh, very happy indeed.
How long have you been looking forward to this day, Charles?
Oh, about 2 years now.
That long?
Quite a while.
Oh, gee. Well, then you won't be nervous because you're all prepared for it and all set.
Who said so? I didn't think it would be, but I am.
Are you? Well, you're among friends, and we're all very interested in getting right down to cases and getting acquainted. Betty Jean, is that what your friends call you?
No, my friends all call me Boots.
Boots?
Uh-huh.
You call her Boots, Charles?
Cuddles.
That's much better. That's very cute. Well, what do you want me to call you?
Well, I prefer you calling me Boots because everyone has now
All
for
right,
22
Boots.
years.
Good. Yes, that'll be it. Well, tell us about you, if you will, please.
Well, I was born in Nebraska, in Chadron, Nebraska. I'm 22 years of age, and I attended college in Nebraska for 1 year, and then I went to Denver University, and when I finished there, that was last spring, I then went with United Airlines as a stewardess, and I've been flying since last fall with United.
Grand. How many in your family?
My mother, father, and 1 sister.
Are they here today?
My mother is here, but unfortunately, my father couldn't be here. But I would certainly like to say that I'm thinking of him.
I know, and I have a hunch that back in Nebraska where he is, he's thinking of you, too. And
Oh, I know he is.
wishing you both so very well.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad Mother could make it. You're a very lovely bride. You have blue eyes and soft, what do you call it, light brown hair? Did you say?
Brown, I'd say.
Sort of
Uh-huh.
light brown. What?
Amber.
Amber. Whatever you say, Charles. That's what you say. And what do your friends call you?
Charles, Charlie, Chuck.
Mm-hmm. What do you
Last
prefer?
name, Chuck.
Chuck?
She calls me Chuck.
Well, you call her Cuddles, and I couldn't get away with that. Supposing I stick to plain Charlie for the moment. Tell me about you.
Well, I was born in Union, Louisiana, down south, and I'm 26 now. And I have 3 brothers and 1 sister, and my mother, who's back in Union now, and she's listening to the program also. And I think she'll like it. I hope she does, anyway.
Well, does she know your bride?
She hasn't met her yet, but I'm
Charles,
sure
I think
she'll like
Oh,
it.
I know she will, I assure you. But there's one nice thing you could do for your mother, I'll bet.
What's
And that is that to sort of describe your bride as she stands there now.
Well,
Well, that's very reasonable. Wouldn't you like to hear what you're... Sure, go ahead, Charles.
she has beautiful light blue eyes. Just the color. Well, you've seen the latest Buick convertible, nice light. In fact, she talked me into getting one of those light blue.
She what?
She talked me into getting one of those light blue convertibles.
Oh, now I see.
And her hair are amber, and she has a very nice figure. The conventional 34, 24, 34.
Conventional 24, 34?
34.
24, 34, 34.
No, 34, 24, 35.
His mother's really getting a picture.
She's about 5 feet 3 inches tall, and she's very lovely.
Yes. Yes, I think that's a good job. Charles, you said you had 3 brothers.
And 1 sister.
And 1 sister.
Yeah.
And your mother's listening in.
Yeah.
You are a lieutenant, first lieutenant in the United States Army Air Force.
That's right. I've been in the Army about 5.5 years now.
You went in right after school when war broke out?
Well, I was attending university, and I finished in 41 in horticulture, and I had taken the physicals for both the Naval and Army Air Corps, and the Navy called me first, so I went to the Naval Air Corps. Then I decided I liked the Army best, so I resigned and resigned from the Navy and went back to the Army. Mm-hmm. And I've been in ever since.
Well, you've done quite a bit of flying. You have 5 battle stars, an air medal with 1 oak leaf cluster, and a Army citation there.
Well,
where did you serve?
Well, I was down in Italy for about 3 months, and then
flying what type plane?
B-17s.
I see.
And one day we went off on a big mission to Germany, Regensburg, Germany. And it seems as if that they didn't want us to get all the way over there, so they shot us down over Klagenfurt in the Alps, yes. Austria. And I landed on top of a pine tree in a very ridiculous situation. And I finally climbed down the tree and got walking in the Alps for about 5 hours. And then became a special guest of the Reich for about 15 months.
In a prison camp?
Prison camp.
I see. And you were rescued and sent back to the States?
Finally sent back to the States.
When did you get back in the States?
June of 45.
And then they assigned you to what kind of duty?
Well, I was bombardiering first. I went to bombardiering school, and then I went out recruiting.
I see. And you what?
I got recruited.
No wonder they assigned the man to it. Well, now, you plan to make a career of the Army?
I certainly do.
Yes. Where are you going to live after your honeymoon? What are your plans?
Well, we're going down to Dayton, Ohio. I'm going to the Air Force Institute of Technology, and we'll make our home there, Wright Field.
Good.
And we hope to get a little apartment or a home. We have a dog. I guess we'll have to get a little home. But it should be quite nice.
Mm-hmm. You're not going to work, are you? At least Boots not at your...
Not for a while, anyway, I don't believe. Not as a stewardess, anyway.
No, you're not. No, that's right. Well, you're going to live there. Well, now, let's get down to the most interesting part, which is this love story that brought you 2 together. Who's going to start?
Oh, I think she should.
I think
You're getting my way now, anyway, aren't I?
And Charles hasn't seen anything yet. Go ahead, if you will, please.
It seems as though it was when I was attending the university in Denver. And,
how long ago?
A year ago this spring, April to be exact, the day after Easter. And I had a package to mail to my little niece. And the post office wasn't far from where I was living, and at the time I was walking down, going to mail my package, minding my own business. And a couple of Army lieutenants are walking down the street, facing me. And so all of a sudden they exclaim, "My, do you always dress that way?" or something to that, you know. They didn't whistle. But they said, couldn't we help you mail that package? They inquired first where I was going, and I said to mail this package. And, well, they wondered if they couldn't help me mail the package. And I said, well, I think I'm perfectly capable of taking care of myself. But they proceeded to take the package. So what could I do but follow them?
That's called strategy, I think. And very smart, too. So, did you mail the package, Charles?
We sure did.
You undoubtedly were one of those lieutenants.
Airmail special delivery.
And then?
And then, after the package, well, I proceeded to leave. But they said, well, why don't we have a Coke? And we finally decided to go for a Coke.
That's that persuasion?
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
And talking, that was in the afternoon, and he had to leave for another town that night to do some more recruiting. I don't know whether that was the same kind of recruiting or not.
That point is well taken.
And so we, after the Coke, he suggested that I see him when he comes back to town. But I never gave it another thought, really, and he took me home. No, I didn't expect to see him.
That's what you thought. After seeing her in that nice black dress, she couldn't get away with it.
I know what you mean. Yes. Very well.
My, he shouldn't talk like this.
No, that's all right. Did anything memorable on this first...
No, other than, he seemed to like me quite a bit.
How do you mean?
Well, he said I looked like a very kissable girl.
I agree.
But he took me home, and then his buddy...
I tried to kiss her.
You what?
I tried to kiss her, but only got a peck on the cheek. On the cheek. Just
Yeah, but then did you two separate then? You said
Yes, he took me home, and he didn't call, but his buddy was the one that started calling me, but he came back in about a week. And so we dated frequently, not too much, because he was out of town quite a lot. So it went on, and we dated now and then, not too regularly. But then I became a little bit interested, you know. He was a very fascinating date, and there was always nice little gifts, flowers and such. So we enjoyed every...
Sugar coating.
What was that?
The sugar touch.
Sugar touch, yes. And so?
And, let's see, where was I?
You were very interested in each other. You said
Yes,
you've been dating regularly.
And we've been dating, and of course, he wasn't the only one I was dating, or vice versa, but
Sure.
he was a very nice date. So, then, one day, one of my best girlfriends said, by the way, what's the name of that lieutenant you're going with? And so I told her. She said. Are you sure he doesn't have another girlfriend? I said, well, now, I don't know. But it come to find out she was working for the same insurance company that he had a couple of rings insured with, see? And so I'm finding out about a girl in San Francisco that he's engaged to after a month or so, you know.
A regular Army Air Forces wolf, I'd say. What?
Isn't it awful?
I don't know. You came out all right. Well, now, what did you do?
I didn't do anything. I kept dating him, and I thought, this is a pretty good joke, you know.
On him?
On him. Because here he was, you know, being very gallant, and he was rushing me, you know, and so I'm all the time knowing that he's engaged to this other girl, but not telling him until a month later.
And did you tell him?
Yes, I told him.
What was his reaction when you confessed?
Oh, you should have seen the look on his face.
That was the second time you were shot down, Charles. Well, now, what did you do after that? Did you just then say, well, you really told him off and then just left him?
No, because I was interested in quite a few others, too.
Yeah.
And so we just dated now and then.
Casually?
Casually, mm-hmm.
Oh, just about every week, every day.
Well, now, what happened then? How did you... Now, the third girl, the other girl is not here today, so obviously some steps have been taken in that direction.
Oh, yes. Mm-hmm.
Well, I went back to San Francisco and saw her again and talked with her a while, and suddenly just decided that she wasn't the girl that Boots back in Denver was the girl, and so told her and came back and flew all the way back to San Antonio, and Buzz got in the wires, and there was a 3-hour delay, and I finally got her and told her.
Wait a minute, now, you got her on the phone?
Got her on the phone.
You mean you went to San Francisco, and you had this talk with this girl, and
That's right.
settled the problem there, and she was amicable and agreeable.
That's right.
And you flew to...
back to San Antonio, and I
telephone
Boots, and I said, you're the one. That's all I said for about 5 minutes.
That's a fine telephone conversation. You're the one. You're the one. You're the one. Sounds like a broken record. Well, what did you say when you heard this?
I didn't say anything. Not, I just didn't particularly care.
Oh, yes,
come on
did.
She's not fooling us. Well, anyway, was that the way you proposed to her?
No.
Where were you when you proposed to her?
City Park.
Whereabouts?
Right by a lake.
No.
Very romantic.
On his bench?
In Denver. Mm-hmm. No, in a car.
In the blue Buick.
Oh, the blue convertible, yes. That matches her eyes.
Oh, we were parked under a beautiful willow tree. I had been thinking about choosing this place quite a while. Then there were ducks out on the lake and the moon above.
Had your arm around her?
Both arms around her, yeah.
And you said, how did you say it?
Well, I said, I love you more than anyone else. Do you love me more than anyone else? And she said yes. And I asked her if she'd marry me. And she didn't say yes right away.
She kept you waiting?
Playing hard to get, I think.
Let's find out now. This is very important. How long did you play hard to get?
Oh, About a week or two.
Really?
Yeah.
Kept him in suspense.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And then she got your answer? You got the answer?
Then I finally got the answer, yes.
And boy, were you relieved.
And he was very perturbed waiting for these 2 weeks. I mean,
And you were
here
very
I-
happy because knowing he was perturbed, you were
here I
perfectly
was
safe.
waiting for a year.
Yes. The bride's revenge. We have for the bride her beautiful bouquet, a round shower arrangement of white sweet peas and white carnations tied with matching satin ribbon, the inserted corsage made of red Better Times roses, made of honors carrying a round shower arrangement made of pink carnations and lavender asters tied with a light blue bow, all designed by Mr. John Patrick Burke, our famous floral artist of Beverly Hills. And you are?
Vernell Knudsen of Denver.
A friend?
Yes, we're very good friends.
Are you the one who found out about the other girl?
No, I'm not.
No. And you, sir?
Dalton Andaman, brother of Charles.
Oh, are you married?
Yes, I am.
Oh, good. And you encouraged him?
I did.
How long have you been married?
4 years.
Yes. Fine. That's good advice. Then what we have for the best man, the bride's wedding band, it's an art-carved ring by wood. It's a beautiful setting with 5 perfect blue-white diamonds, and like all of the art-carved rings, it is lovely. Put that in your pocket, if you will. And do you have on something old?
Yes, I do.
New?
Yes.
Borrowed?
Yes.
Blue?
No.
No blue? Jack, do you have something blue to match the bride's eyes or the blue?
Denver Glamour Blue Garter.
Do you have one?
Yes.
Huh? Where? Oh, well, just a moment here. Turn around, this gentleman. How are you doing? And the penny in your shoe. Yes?
Yes.
And the name of your love song?
My heart beats for you.
Good. Not for me, for Charles. Right now, as the bride and groom and the wedding party go down the aisle, out through the lovely gardens of the Chapman Park Hotel to the Old World Chapel, where the clergyman waits, Jack McElroy sings their love song.
As beats the ocean surf upon the sand, so beats my heart for you. For just as constantly as sea meets land, so beats my heart for you. I'll always be true, faithful to you. Skies have been blue since you came in view. As beats the rhythm of a mighty band, so beats my heart for you, dear. So beats my heart for
Thank you, Gaynor Carter. Very lovely song, well sung and well played as always. Well, now there's the typical young bride and groom. Aren't they charming? She's very lovely and he's very handsome. But right now we'll have a few words from our own Jack McElroy.
Hair that lacks luster, hair that's not delightfully fragrant, can dim the loveliness and charm of an otherwise beautiful woman. That's why it pays to keep your hair always looking its best, by washing it once a week with emulsified coconut oil shampoo. Now, there's a reason why it's so important for you to use emulsified shampoo, and it's this. Emulsified shampoo is totally different from so many soaps that leave an afterfilm to dull your hair and make it unpleasant. Well, this shampoo rinses out readily. Just try emulsified coconut oil shampoo once, and you'll see for yourself how radiant, soft, and fragrant fresh it leaves your hair. And remember that emulsified shampoo not only beautifies, but protects as well, for it removes loose dandruff instantly and contains none of the harmful free alkali frequently found in ordinary soaps. It's so mild and gentle you can use it as often as you wish without harm. Besides this, emulsified coconut oil shampoo is easy to use, for it foams fast, lathers freely, and cleanses oiliness without tiresome rubbing. So get the big bottle at any toilet goods counter today. It gives you more, saves you money, lasts for months. Ask for emulsified coconut oil shampoo.
Here to describe our bride's outfit today, we're very pleased to have a very charming young lady, an airline stewardess for Western Airlines, one of those who's been so grand to our brides and grooms as they've flown about the United States on their honeymoons, Miss Paula Betts. So, Miss Betts, if you will, please, where are you? Come on up here. Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Paula, you tell us about the bride first, if you will, please.
Well, the bride was very lovely today. She had a beautiful dress of slipper satin designed by Barbara Britton. Her train was around 4 feet long, and her bodice and peplum were made of chantilly lace. And her lovely fingertip veil was caught in a halo of orange blossoms. And she truly presented a lovely bride to us all.
Mm-hmm. And what about the bridesmaid?
She was also lovely in blue taffeta with a sequin skull cap on her lovely brown hair.
Mm-hmm. And our groom, I can describe that. I saw so many of those for so long. What do you mean?
He was very handsome.
Yes, I noticed you were sort of breathing hard there for a moment, Paula. Our groom wore his army dress uniform with his ribbons and medals and all. It'll make a very beautiful picture, the bride in her white gown and the groom. Just think of their children and grandchildren. As they look through the old family album, they'll present quite a picture. Paula, I'm glad you're here today because I understand that Western Airlines is inaugurating a new series of flights and new service.
Yes, today we start our inaugural trip to Seattle, Washington.
Your new flight line is to Portland and Seattle and all up
That's
the
right.
Northwest?
Yes, we are featuring border to border, starting from San Diego to Seattle, with 162 seats every day to serve the public. Our motto is service.
Well, you sure give it. I'll tell you something. The reason we're so interested in Western Airlines is because they have taken such wonderful care of our brides and grooms. They've flown them on honeymoons to Lake Louise and Banff and to the Black Hills of South Dakota, and this just sort of opens up new places they can go on their honeymoon.
Yes.
They can go to Crater Lake in Oregon, and they can go to Mount Rainier up in Seattle, and there's some beautiful lodges up there.
And they also can go on up to Vancouver from Seattle. That's a lovely honeymoon trip.
Mm-hmm. Have you had your honeymoon yet?
No, mine will be around December, I guess.
You all set?
Yes.
Well, I'm happy, Paula. Would you be kind enough to take from me here as gifts to Mayor of San Francisco, Roger Lapham, Mayor of Oakland, Mayor Smith, Mayor of Portland, Earl Riley, and Mayor of Seattle, William Devon, Governor Walgren of Washington, and Governor Earl Snell of Oregon. Good wishes from bride and groom, and we have a beautiful Gruen watch for them, a product of the Gruen Watch Company.
Thank you very much. They'll love these. Thank you.
You'll deliver them in person?
I'll do that.
I'd like to have a watch delivered in person by you any time, Miss Beth.
Thank you, Mr. Nelson.
Thank you very much for that nice gift. Very nice job. I want you folks here to see the lovely gifts we have for this very charming young couple, for that little home that they're speaking about that they have to have because they have a dog. Of course, most beautiful and traditional is the sterling silver that every bride and groom want. Of course, it's Gorham. This is it. Since 1831, America's leading silversmith, Gorham, each day presents our bride and groom their choice of 4 of their many exquisite patterns, Strasbourg, Buttercup, Lyric, and Chantilly today. There's a complete service for 4, and here is a new product of our sponsors. It's Phillips Skin Cream and Phillips Cleansing Cream. Helps our bride to keep that youthful radiance, that beautiful complexion. Here is for their home another grand gift, the famous Bendix Consulette. With the automatic Bendix radio phonograph combination, both standard broadcasts and shortwave. It plays 10 and 12-inch records, storage space for over 100 records. You see, it's a beautiful piece of furniture. It's a product of the radio division of the Bendix Aviation Corporation. This is their wedding album from Bernard of Hollywood and Palm Springs. Has formal portraits and candid shots, and it'll be very handsome with their pictures in it. So they have a talking picture and much to talk about later. Capitol Records of Hollywood record our bride and groom and put it in a special album. What a grand gift. What a thing to have on your anniversaries to go back over. This is the Argoflex camera, the finest made by the Argus Company with the reflex action. That's so that they can get the many, many pictures they'll want to remember their honeymoon forever. And also for their home, this is grand. This is La Mirada Mandarin pottery dinnerware in popular dawn pattern. It's 4-piece set. It's square in shape. Very outstanding. Dawn pink and dusk rose, I guess they call it. It's very, very beautiful. And a Max Factor makeup kit for that lovely bride. This beautiful case full of Max Factor's fine makeup. They're cosmetics. And here's the Eureka home cleaning system. Complete. It has 4 separate types of cleaners. The upright cleaner, the tank type cleaner, about 1,000 attachments, a waxer, and also the Eureka cordless automatic iron. And here is a really outstanding gift for their home. It's the 1947 Laundrol, the complete home laundry with a famous reverse roll action. You fill it with clothes from the top. You have a cleaner wash with less soap and less hot water. And, I guess I haven't finished my laundry in my Laundrol. I better put that back. Nice pair of diapers. It's a grand gift for their home. I know they'll really enjoy that Laundrol, and it'll mean so much to them in their new home. Coming back to the chapel now, very happy, looking grand, our happy bride, her handsome groom, Mr. and Mrs. Charles Anderman. Congratulations, Charles. Here are some of your many gifts, and we also want to tell you about your honeymoon. Waiting outside is a Tanner motor delivery limousine with uniformed chauffeur going to drive you to Lockheed Air Terminal, where you'll board a big 4-engine Western Airlines luxury liner, which will fly you to San Francisco, California, where you'll be met by a private plane belonging to the people who operate your honeymoon resort, Hoburg's Among the Pines in beautiful Lake County. This plane will fly you up to Hoburg's, and there you'll be guests for a full week at the gateway to the mighty California Redwood Empire. You'll land at Hoburg's private airport, and 5 minutes later, you'll be in the midst of the greatest vacation resort imaginable. Hoburg's and nearby Siegler Springs have been the vacation paradise of Northern California for over 50 years. It has everything because, well, you'll find out. You'll dance to the music of fine dance bands in the open-air pavilion under the pines. There's every type of recreation possible, including riding, swimming, hiking, and fishing. Your host for a full week's stay will be owner George Hoburg, ably assisted by his master of ceremonies, Ozzy. At the end of your stay, a Hoburg plane will fly you to San Francisco, and there you'll board a Western Airlines DC-4 for your return trip to Los Angeles. Right now, let me wish you all possible health and success for a long, happy married life together. I know you're going to have it. Good wishes to you. You folks, Mr. Jack McElroy. We'll see the rest of you tomorrow.
Say, mothers, this time of day when most of the men folks are at work, now it can be told. Not fathers, but mothers are the ones who usually make the decisions about baby. Big decisions, little decisions, it's all the same. And one of the important ones you as a mother have to make concerns giving a laxative to your baby. Well, most mothers faced with that decision feel they can't be too particular about something so important. And they give their young children the laxative made specially for children, Fletcher's Castoria. Fletcher's Castoria contains no harsh ingredients as some adult laxatives do, but is gentle, effective, just right for babies. Another thing, there's no struggle getting baby to take it, because Fletcher's Castoria has such a pleasant taste. Your druggist has Fletcher's Castoria in the package with a green band on it, so ask him for a bottle today. Then you'll always have it on hand whenever baby doesn't maintain regularity. Caution, use only as directed. Oh, and be sure you see that green band. That's your assurance you're getting the original children's laxative, genuine Fletcher's Castoria. Jack McElroy speaking. Bride and Groom with John Nelson comes to you every day, Monday through Friday, at this same time from Hollywood.
It contains the whitest pigment money can buy. Yes, ladies, and that's why Energine Shoe White gives shoes a snowy whiteness that's unsurpassed. A whiteness that's uniform from toe to heel, actually cleans as it whitens. Today, get the best, whitest Energine Shoe White of all time. This is ABC, the American Broadcasting Company. American Broadcasting Company. American Broadcasting Company. American Broadcasting Company. Treat painful minor burns and cuts, fever blisters, cold sores, scratches with Campho-Phenique Quick. It contains a mild surface anesthetic to help stop pain. It combats infection. Get Campho-Phenique famous liquid antiseptic dressing from druggists. Use as directed. Campho-Phenique, spelled Campho-Phenique. Campho-Phenique.
From Hollywood, we present Bride and Groom. With your master of ceremonies, John Nelson.
Good afternoon, and welcome to Bride and Groom here in the Chapman Park Hotel. You know, it's a beautiful day in Southern California, just the sort of a day that's perfect for a wedding. So if you'd like to attend the wedding, why, just leave that dial where it is, because in just a few moments, you'll meet the young couple who'll be married during this broadcast. our lovely young bride, her very handsome and beaming groom, who will tell you their real love story, which led up to their wedding. But first, I have here some questions submitted for discussion by our guests in the audience here. As you know, for the best of these questions will be awarded pairs of beautiful Holly Vogue nylon stockings designed by Armin for the stars. I don't know whether these are the best questions or not, but they're certainly, I think they have possibilities for discussion. A lady says, should a wife use child psychology in her husband or treat him as an adult? Very interesting. And here's another lady. No, it's a man who says, why does my wife want to spend all my money? Goodness. What goes on? And here's one from a lady who says, how can I keep my husband from calling me the old battle axe? And one last question here from a lady who says, my husband says he dreams of a different girl every night. How can I make him dream only of me? Well, I don't know, but if anyone's got any ideas and time permits, we'll get into that. But right now, a few words from Jack McElroy, and then we'll meet our bride and groom.
Thousands of people who suffer the social and business handicap of dandruff are discovering that the way to combat it effectively is with double danderine. You see, double danderine is unlike many hair preparations available today. For such products really do no more to fight a common type of dandruff than plain water does. That is, they simply wash loose dandruff away. But double danderine actually combats this dandruff by killing the germs that many outstanding authorities contend are its cause. And double danderine kills these germs on contact. Now, a special ingredient named Alzan is the reason for double danderine's amazing effectiveness. Alzan is an active antiseptic so remarkably efficient, many hospitals use it. And of all hair preparations, only double danderine has it. So try double danderine and see if you don't agree that most ordinary hair preparations can't compare with its dandruff-combating effectiveness. If you're not satisfied, return the empty bottle and get your money back. Buy double danderine at your druggist.
And right now, we'd like you to meet the young stars of our program. Our very beautiful young bride and her very, very handsome groom.
Here comes the bride and groom. They're not married now, but they will be soon. Here comes the bride and groom on their wedding day.
Thank you. Very pretty bride, isn't she? Very good-looking groom, too. Very proud of him. What is your name, miss?
Ollie Jane Stahl.
Ollie Jane Starr?
Stahl.
Stahl. And you, sir?
Jimmy Tuff.
Jimmy Tuff?
Tuff. T-double-F.
Okay, we've got it right. I'm John Nelson, in case you want. How about standing up here straight so we can get some nice pictures during the broadcast? Ollie Jane, where's your home, please?
Wichita, Kansas.
Tell me a little bit about yourself, if you will. Were you born in Wichita?
I was born in Wichita.
Family still live there?
My family is still there, yes.
Brothers or sisters?
I have 2 sisters and 1 brother.
How old are you?
I'm 22.
And how long have you been away from Wichita?
Well, about 2 years. I've been in the Navy that long.
You have, I see.
Yes.
What is your rating, by the way?
Well, I'm storekeeper 2nd class. I couldn't get one.
Oh, I see. All right. You think she's kind of first class, don't you, Jimmy?
You bet.
I thought that's the answer, I guess. Well, did you say anything about brothers or sisters? How many?
I have 2 sisters and 1 brother.
Anybody married in the family besides you?
Well, my oldest sister is married.
She encourage you?
Yeah, she thinks it's a good idea.
Yeah, could be. And did you go to school in Wichita?
Yes. I went to high school, and I had 1 year college.
Well, you think you go back to college, or it's going to stay married?
Well, we're both going back to college.
Oh, I think that's wonderful. That's really good. Well, now that's a little bit about you. Suppose we can learn about Jimmy here. How about you, Jimmy? Where were you born and so on?
Helma, Minnesota.
Helma, Minnesota. We had somebody here on the program there the other day, didn't we?
It's about a week ago, I guess.
Who was that?
Lieutenant Arnold Erickson.
Oh, yes, I do remember. Well, is that a big place?
Oh, about 250 people.
Well, I don't like to mention, but almost 1% of the population have been married on bride and groom. Oh, that's well, go ahead, Jimmy. And did you go to school there?
Yes, I was born there, raised there.
Family live there now?
Yes, they're still back.
Brothers or sisters?
2.
Which, brothers or sisters?
1 brother, 1 sister.
Anybody married?
No, they're both young.
Yes, I see. Do you think your folks are listening in today?
Oh, they sure are.
And yours?
Mine, too, yes.
Oh, I'm so glad. Well, I suppose if you couldn't attend your daughter's wedding or your son's wedding, the nicest thing to do would be to hear about them and hear them tell about themselves on the day. So, does that sort of bring us up to date?
That's it.
Except for a little thing. You're in the Marines. You better explain what you are.
Well, I just did get out.
You just out? Well, congratulations.
A week ago last Sunday.
Well, what are you, a sergeant?
Staff sergeant.
Staff sergeant, and you've been around, too. I see a couple of battle scars there, which is swell. And let's find out now about them. I mean, we know a little bit about the background. I bet they've got a pretty interesting story if we can get it out of them. Well, Ollie Jane, tell me, where did you first meet this very handsome young man?
At a dance.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
Well, that's a good place to meet somebody. You were introduced by somebody, or what? Did he just come up and ask you for a dance?
Well, I was there with a couple of other waves, and he came up and asked me to dance.
Mm-hmm. And that's not impolite in service, you know. Very often you mix up, you don't have people introduce you. Isn't that right?
Mm-hmm.
I know, I was in service. Well, Ollie Jane, how long ago was this that you met Jimmy?
That's a year and 5 months.
And at this dance, why, he came up and he asked you to dance, and you went whirling around the floor and...
No, I didn't want to dance with him.
That's a fine beginning for a romance. Well, what happened, Jimmy? Did you persist?
Well, she thought I was too short. Tried to push me off on this other girlfriend.
She did?
She did.
Well, how did you change your mind?
I was insistent.
Yes. Yes? And what happened, Ollie?
Well, he just stood there, and so...
Pretty soon, why?
Well, I got up, and he wasn't so short, so I danced with him.
Oh, boy. So, Jimmy, you stayed in there and put up a good fight. Well, now, when you got her out on the floor, what did you say? Remember?
Well, I just got back from overseas. I was a little afraid I couldn't even dance. I was apologizing for anything I
might do the next day. And you, Ollie Jane, what did you think of when you started dancing? Was he a good dancer?
Yes, he was a good dancer, and I liked him.
Yes, a girl can change her mind. Well, what happened? Did he ask you for another dance?
Yeah, I danced with him all evening.
Oh, and by the time the dance was over, Jimmy, why, did you have her telephone number or anything like that?
Well, I found out where she lived. She was going to meet me the next day. I didn't need her telephone number.
Yeah, that's even better. And did you get together the next day?
Next afternoon.
And where did you go?
Well, we went dancing again.
Middle of the afternoon, all day and all night. Well, that's wonderful. And then another date the next day?
Yeah, I went out with him every day from then on.
For a year and 5 months?
No.
No,
he went home on leave for about 60 days.
Well, you got 60 days off of this routine of dancing. Well, that's very fatiguing. A fellow needs a rest. Well, you don't have to answer this, Ollie Jane. I'm just kind of curious about it, though. I think most people are, because it's an indication of when you begin to get serious. When did Jimmy first try to kiss you?
The first night he took me home.
Oh! Well, the Marines are supposed to be kind of quick like that, you know. And did he succeed?
Yes.
Don't know about the Navy, though. Well, then you went along for how long before you got around to beginning to get serious about this marriage department?
Oh, till about July.
Of this year?
Last year.
I think so. Well, I don't know what year it is. I mean, I get interested in the story and forget all those details. Of last year, 1945.
Yeah.
And would you mind telling us? I mean, although you don't have to, of course, where you were and what you were doing when you were proposed to?
Well.
Go ahead. Well?
Well, we don't have any lounge in the Wavebury, so we didn't have a car. So we went out walking.
Very sensible. No car, no wave lounge, and so you went out walking. And where did you walk to?
Oh, towards the park.
Yes. And then?
Well, there's a lot of nice palm trees around and a bench, so we sat down.
Natural thing to do.
And so then he asked me if I'd marry him.
Mm-hmm. How did you go about saying it, Jimmy? Do you remember?
Well, I asked her if she'd wait till I was 21.
And you agreed to wait till Jimmy was 21? And are you 21, Jimmy?
I am.
Good. Well, that was
a few days ago.
Just he didn't ask you to wait much longer than that. Oh, that's a wonderful story. Well, can you? What made you finally decide to marry Jimmy? I mean, you started out you didn't like him, and now here you are marrying the man.
Well, I don't know. And
just kind of liked him.
Yeah, I just kind of thought he was wonderful. So.
That's just kind of the right answer. How about you, Jimmy?
Well, I made up my mind right after I went home on leave.
Mm-hmm.
I missed her while I was home. I knew she was the one I wanted.
Yes, You missed her while you were gone, so when you came back, you just couldn't wait. Gee, that's a wonderful story. We won't hold up the wedding any longer, so here's the bride's bouquet from John Patrick Burke, our floral artist of Beverly Hills. Designed as always to match the bride's costume, the bride's bouquet today is a very lovely shower arrangement of white sweet peas, maidenhair fern tied with a white satin ribbon, removable corsage in the center of blue iris. The bridesmaid bouquet, an informal arm effect of pink sweet peas and orchid tulips tied with a pink satin ribbon. And you are?
Mrs. Ken Christensen.
Mrs.
Christian.
Mrs. Christensen. And you're in the service too, aren't you?
I'm discharged.
You're discharged? Oh, congratulations. What were you?
Storekeeper second.
Is this Mr. Christian?
No, it isn't.
I just wondered. It looked like that. What's that thing they're talking about, getting the services together in one outfit? This looks like we've got 2 Marines and 2 waves. And you are, sir?
I am Arthur H. Van Working Jr.
And may I call you Arthur? Otherwise, we'll be here for the rest of the day. Well, you're the best man. You're a sergeant also.
That's right.
In the Marines. Well, what I want to give to you as best man is the bride's wedding ring, selected as always from Brock and Company of Beverly Hills in Los Angeles. This beautiful ring, designed especially for bride and groom, has 5 perfect blue-white diamonds set in a unique gold mounting. Like everything from Brock's, it's very, very fine. Take a look at that. Do you like that, Arthur?
It's very nice.
Are you married?
No, sir, I'm not.
You getting any ideas right now?
Well, I have a gal back home someday.
Is this fair giving you an idea about it or two?
Give me a few ideas.
Yes. Fellow only needs one if you want to know the truth. You do. And Ollie Jane, I want to find out, do you have on something old?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes. Oh, my suit, yes.
Yes. And you have on something new?
Yes, new pair of shoes.
New pair of shoes? Fine, very nice looking too. Something borrowed?
Well, no.
You don't have? Didn't you say you borrowed something from somebody?
Well, oh, yeah. My mother sent me a penny, since I have sent it back to her.
Oh! Well, that was it. You had me a little puzzled, didn't you? And that's something blue, of course, your insignia is blue.
Insignia.
Well, you're pretty well equipped. Well, I better explain to you who this fellow is, the one who's taking pictures. I mentioned pictures. He's from Sergius Alberts of Beverly Hills, the famous society photographer and photographer of the stars, who each day presents our bride and groom this beautiful leather album, gold embossed, satin moire lined, as you can see, with 4 or 5 formal wedding portraits and about a dozen candid shots. A lovely gift to remember this day. But I think that's everything. Have I forgotten anything, Jack? No, thanks. All right, then. The only thing left to do is to find out what the name of the song you should like.
Tomorrow's forever.
Tomorrow? Is that all right? Fine. All right. Well, as our bride and groom go down the aisle now and out to the wedding chapel where the only immediate friends and invited guests in attendance, they will be married. In private service, Jack McElroy will sing the song of their choice, Tomorrow is Forever.
In the height of love. So, darling, let's endeavor never to be apart. Tomorrow is forever.
Well played by our Gaylord Carter. You know, this is one day they can't give me the dickens for not describing the bride's outfit. She had on very simply a white waves costume, and the 2 Marines were in their own blues, their dress blues, and the bridesmaid was in an outfit. You two have been holding hands constantly ever since I've been standing up here. What's the big idea?
We're on our honeymoon.
Oh, that explains everything. And your name is?
Louise Collins Sward.
Louise Collinsward.
Sward.
Sward.
Yes.
Is that right?
That's right.
And you're just out of service. You're the husband, right?
Yes, sir.
Well, how long have you been out of service?
Just a little over, just under 3 months.
Oh, I see. And how long have you been married?
143 hours. 5 days, 22 hours.
Any minutes or seconds?
No, sir.
No, not yet. Well, you know, don't you think you've been married long enough so you could let go of her? You aren't going to lose her. They're holding hands like mad. Where were you married?
In the Mormon Temple in Salt Lake City, Utah.
You're out here on a honeymoon?
Yes.
All right. How long are you going to stay here?
Till Monday morning.
Oh, just over the weekend here? How long have you been here? 5 days, I know. Well, where are you going to live, in Salt Lake City?
No, we're going to live at Hill Field.
Where's that?
Just south of Ogden, Utah. I work at the depot there.
Oh, I see. Fine. Well, you having a nice honeymoon, miss?
Oh, wonderful.
Well, I think any honeymoon's wonderful. Silly question. We'd like to invite you to be our guest tonight at Tom Brenneman's restaurant on Vine Street. Have dinner and dance and see the floor show and just have a wonderful time.
Oh, thank you very much. It was wonderful.
Good enough. That's right.
That's right.
You have the expensive dinner. It's on Tom Brenneman. He's out of town and can't protect himself. Have a wonderful time. Of course you will on a honeymoon. Here's a few words from Jack McElroy, and then we're going to meet some more interesting folks.
If you are at all concerned about the appearance of your teeth, try Phillips Milk of Magnesia toothpaste, the only toothpaste made from genuine Phillips Milk of Magnesia. It's Phillips' antacid contents that enables it to do such a remarkable job of combating harmful bacterial mouth acids on contact. It's important to remember this, for it's these unpleasant mouth acids that frequently lead to tooth decay. Just try Phillips Milk of Magnesia toothpaste. For as you brush your teeth, this wonderful dentifrice, through its cleansing and antacid properties, gives your teeth and mouth a thoroughly refreshing, really clean feeling. You like the brisk, tangy flavor that gives Phillips its delightfully different taste. Ask your druggist for the big, economical 50-cent size of Phillips Milk of Magnesia toothpaste today.
Thank you, Larry. Right now it's time for us to meet some more folks. As we do every day on this broadcast, we try to talk to honeymooners and anniversaryites and so on. And you're having an anniversary today?
I am.
And your name is?
Mrs. Eli Saxey.
Yes, from where?
From Detroit.
Yes. And you have any children?
That we have.
How many?
We have 3 sons and 1 daughter, all married. That makes us 8.
Any grandchildren?
We have 6 grandsons and 2 granddaughters and 1 great-granddaughter.
That's quite a family, isn't it?
Oh, I don't
Is
think
it a nice-sized family?
Wonderful.
Oh, I'm glad. Which anniversary?
Can't be any nicer.
Oh, I'm sure. Which anniversary is it?
51 years today.
51 years. Now, hold on. And you are, please?
Mrs. Wayne Hopkins.
From where, Mrs. Hopkins?
Lincoln City, Indiana.
Fine.
The Lincoln Park and the place where Lincoln's mother, Nancy Hanks Lincoln, was buried.
I see. And you are Mr.
Hopkins,
Yes.
Wayne Hopkins.
Yes. And how many children do you have, Miss Hopkins?
We have 4 children,
Grandchildren?
6,
Yes.
and 4 great-grandchildren.
Goodness, you're doing all right, too. And which anniversary is this for you?
55 years today.
55. And you are, please?
I've been married 50 years.
50 years today. Yes. And your name is, please?
Davis.
And this is Mrs. Davis?
Yes.
How many children do you have, Mrs. Davis?
13.
And 13? And grandchildren?
13.
13 grandchildren. And any great-grandchildren?
5.
5. Oh, well. Well, where's your home originally?
Brantford, Ontario.
Yes. And this is your 50th anniversary?
50th.
50th, yes. And you are, please?
Mrs. Roy Baker, Rescue, California.
Yes. And do you have any children, Mrs. Baker?
Yes, I have 5.
Any grandchildren?
11.
Great-grandchildren?
None.
None yet. Well, that's all right. You, sir, Mr. Baker?
Ori Baker, Escondido.
Yes, and which anniversary is this for you?
50.
50. Well, there's 206 years of happy married life. I think that's quite an accomplishment, don't all of you? Now, aside from just saying very nice and all that sort of thing, we have a nice little present for you. But before we do, the reason we ask these folks up here is to help them celebrate their anniversary. Also to see if they can't give the rest of us a few words of advice about how you're go about being happily married for more than 50 years. Some of us need that advice, too, believe me. So, supposing you tell us to what you attribute your happy married life, if you will.
Well, not money doesn't give you happiness. It can buy a beautiful place, but it doesn't
Yes.
make a home.
Yes.
A home you have to make yourself.
Yes.
And I think it's to give, always give first and then take.
Always give first before you
and then
take.
take.
Yes. Is that the way it works out at your home, Jim?
Absolutely it does.
All
You
right.
You always give, and then we take.
Good enough, and that makes for happiness, I'm sure. And you, Mrs.
Hopkins?
Yes, Miss Hopkins, I'm sorry. All 4 of you, I'm a little confused and nervous.
Well, I always try to have his meals on time
Yes.
and cook the way he wants me to cook, and above all, make biscuits every morning for his breakfast.
And that, Mr. Hopkins, does that suit you?
Well, that fits me pretty good. I'm a little hard of hearing.
Oh, that's all right, but you like what she said about the biscuits for breakfast? No.
I like the biscuit for breakfast, yes.
Yes. Well, actually, what she's said is that you do your best to please your husband, and he in return tries to please you. Now, supposing you tell us your secret of happy married life.
Well,
You with the 13 children. 13
well, it was
grandchildren.
my children and my Lord to raise them up for that.
Your family. You think the families are the main thing in happiness?
Yes.
Your name again, please?
Davis.
Mrs. Davis, that's right. And you, sir, how about that?
What, best way to get along?
Yes,
You give the woman everything she wants in her own way and everything.
Well, Mr. Davis, that isn't what your wife said, but that's very good. That's wonderful. And I think that's that's pretty good advice. Mrs. Baker, what would you have to say about that?
Well, I think that you have to give and take on both sides of the house.
Yes.
And I think we have did that all through.
You really have, you and Mr. Baker.
Yes, sir.
Always been very considerate now. How about that, Mr. Baker?
I think that is just about right, give and take.
Yes. Well, I think we've got a lot of good advice today. See, they're four wonderful couples, and all of them celebrating anniversaries from 50 to 56, are golden wedding anniversaries. So we have for them today, for the ladies, 4 gifts in gold. 4 beautiful, very thin, Groom 17-jewel watches, America's precision watch. That's all right? We got everything here? Got everyone, Jack?
Got everyone, John.
Oh, fine. Well, many, many happy returns today. Congratulations, and come back again on your next anniversary. Aren't they a wonderful couple? I mean, all 4 of them. Really nice. Say, does anyone know if there's a lady here named Pauline Cordery? Pauline Cordery? Where is she? Yes. Will you come over here, please, for just a second? I'm very interested in this question she gave us. We're going to get a pair of nylon stockings, of beautiful Hollywood nylons for this. Is that Mrs. Cordery? Mrs. Cordery?
Yes.
How long have you been married, Mrs. Cordery?
I'm not married. I'm a widow now.
Oh, I see. Well, she's the lady who said, should a wife use child psychology on her husband or treat him as an adult? Well,
I'm still trying to find out.
You're still trying to find out? You don't know?
No.
Just wondered.
Pardon me, John. You don't ever use psychology on a husband. You use a rolling pin, and here's one for you.
I think that's a pretty good answer. Mrs. Cordery will give you your Hollywood nylon stocking in just a second, right after the program. That's a very good question. I just wondered. I know how my wife would have answered it. Well, coming back to the example now, very less than 1 minute, as husband and wife are beautiful bride and their handsome children. See, you two look so happy.
We just got married.
You just got married? Well, I'm amazed. Well, having just gotten married, it's time they got some wedding presents. So first of all, we'll start off with the most traditional and most beautiful, I think, of all gifts. For over 100 years, Gorham, America's aristocrat of silver, presents the bride her choice of these 5 beautiful patterns of their many patterns. A complete set of service for 4. Yes, which one did you choose? Do you remember?
Sovereign.
Sovereign? She chose Sovereign, this beautiful pattern up here, so rich and distinctive. Isn't that lovely, graceful of line, and oh, fine. That's a very, very good choice. That's fine. I hope after we get this service thing organized, why, I'll be able to come over for dinner. Do you think we can arrange that? Yes.
I'm being too. I'm hungry.
He's always hungry. How about the honeymoon? Any ideas?
We're going to Reno, Nevada.
Is that all right? That's where they're going right after the broadcast. They're going out here to the airport and meet Paul Mance, who operates his charter service and freight service and airlines, and our honeymoon special, and just the 2 of them, with a pilot, of course, and a honeymoon special are going to fly to Reno, Nevada for a week's honeymoon, all expenses paid at the El Cortez Hotel. You know, that's funny. A lot of people think of Reno as only in connection with divorce, but actually it's a wonderful place for a romantic honeymoon with beautiful scenery, and it's located in the heart of the Old West. Your host's going to be manager Bob Miller of the El Cortez up there, and believe me, he'll take care of you. He personally see you get a bridal suite and a wedding supper at the Trocadero and dance to the music of Charlie Cayley's orchestra, and I'm sure they'll play any number you want.
Wow.
The one you got started with. And there'll be side trips to Virginia City and all over up there with luxurious accommodations and fine food. All right?
Fine.
Make a good honeymoon?
Oh, boy.
Yes, I thought it would. Actually, that does make a... By the way, up there you'll need that. You can't wear your uniform around all the time. You'll want something else for sports. Where's this young lady? Come over here, Miss Scott. This is Miss Kay Scott, who's a starlet at Paramount. Her latest picture, Miss Susie Slagle. Very attractive girl, and I asked her to model so you could all see the outfit. This is from Tabac of California, one of America's foremost fashion houses. You take this down now. This is an outfit. See, it has shorts and all sorts of things, hasn't it? Yes, it is. Well, that outfit from Tabernacle, California, designed by Stella, has about 9 or 10 different pieces, doesn't it, honey?
I'm wearing 3 now.
Just 3, and you have what?
This
is 5. You get about 9 pieces to make up to about 20 different costumes for your honeymoon.
Oh, nice.
Yes. Well, thanks, Miss Scott. That's very lovely. I mean, it's better to see what you're getting that way, I think. And incidentally, for the bride here from Max Factor of Hollywood, a magnificent. Well, all right, I'll give you that too. This is for you, Bob. I'm sorry. Can you take good pictures there?
Oh, I think I can with this one.
Yes, I think you can too. It's an Argoflex made by Argus, America's finest camera makers, and with it from Posto Film of Hollywood, a year's supply of their sensational new Posto Chrome film. Will you send us pictures of your honeymoon? Copies of your honeymoon pictures?
As soon as they're ready.
Okay, fine. That Argoflex one for the bride from Max Factor of Hollywood, a magnificent makeup kit exactly as created for the stars. Beautiful leather kit filled with Max Factor pancake makeup with the old face powder rouge and fruit color lipstick, all the essentials of color harmony. And by the way, there's one last thing I want to find out. Where are you going to set up housekeeping?
In National City right now.
You are?
Until summer. We're planning to go back to Minneapolis.
Fine. We have a gift for you that I think that every bride wants. In fact, that every woman wants. It's a sensational gift. It's a new 1946 Easy Spin Dryer washing machine, incorporating every advance in engineering and designer skill to make it the finest washer in performance and beauty. And believe me, honey, this is something you can do a whole week's washing with in an hour. Isn't it a beauty? Yes. And I suggest you learn to operate it, too. I have a hunch you're going to have to.
It'll probably be easier for me with that one.
Oh, it's a beautiful machine. Will you single gals get up here now? We're going to toss the bride's bouquet as we have time. Isn't that a beautiful machine?
Oh, yes.
Hey, how about me taking this while you give your bride a kiss so we can get a picture of it, I think. Would you mind giving your bride a little kiss? That'll learn. No, he didn't mind kissing his bride. Hey, somebody take this. I get to kiss the bride, too, here, I think. Do I get to kiss your bride?
Go ahead.
Yeah? That I like. Fine. How much time do we have left, Larry? Oh, we'll have to toss the bride's bouquet right after we get up there. Right now it's time for say good luck to our bride and groom, to young lovers everywhere. See you all tomorrow.
Most of us eat too much, smoke too much, or overindulge sometime or another. When you do go overboard, remember that Phillips Milk of Magnesia quickly and dependably relieves the discomforts of acid indigestion which accompany overindulgence. As an acid stomach alkalizer, Phillips is rated among the fastest, most effective known. When taken at bedtime, it works 2 ways to banish the distress of overindulgence. It relieves heartburn, headachy, upset feeling almost at once. You sleep soundly. What's more, 2 to 4 tablespoonfuls of Phillips taken in water when necessary before retiring help you start the day sparkling, refreshed, without that logy feeling. Ask for genuine Phillips Milk of Magnesia by its full name. That's Phillips, Phillips. Caution, use only as directed. For economy, buy the big 50-cent size. It contains 3 times as much as the 25-cent size. Sold at all drugstores. Jack McElroy speaking. Bride and Groom with John Nelson comes to you every day, Monday through Friday at the same time from Hollywood.
Feel tired, depressed? Your doctor may find you have a borderline anemia resulting from a ferronutritional blood deficiency. Take ironized yeast tablets. IY helps increase your strength by building up your red blood cells. For more energy, more vitality, get ironized yeast tablets. This is the American Broadcasting Company. Broadcasting Company. Broadcasting Company. Broadcasting Company. Keep it clean with Energine. You can get nothing at any price that will clean grease spots from your clothing, rugs, fabric-covered chairs faster or better than Energine cleaning fluid. Just follow directions and it cleans even delicate laces and velvets without leaving telltale rings. Get Energine at drug, grocery, or variety stores.
From Hollywood, we present Bride and Groom. With your master of ceremonies, John Nelson.
Thank you very much. Thank you and good afternoon. In almost any romance, the first step is boy meets girl. But we've discovered here at our bride and groom wedding party at the Chapman Park Hotel on Broad Wilshire Boulevard that it sometimes takes a bit of doing for a young man to meet a pretty girl. Today, we'll meet a young man from Washington State who wanted to get acquainted with a pretty minister's daughter from Texas. From them, we'll hear the story of how they met and fell in love, and that will be just before they go out down the tree-lined path to be married in the quiet of the beautiful old chapel by their clergyman. And first, as always, we'll have a few words from Jack McElroy.
If dandruff is spoiling the appearance of your hair, and you've been trying to combat it with little or no success, listen carefully. Many outstanding authorities say that the most common kind of dandruff is not a natural condition, but it actually is caused by a germ called Pityrosporum ovo. And the truth is that most dandruff-combating methods are no more effective for fighting this germ than plain water and brushing. For like water, all they do is remove loose dandruff. They have no effect whatever on the germ, and to get real relief, it must be destroyed. Double Danderine really works, because Double Danderine does just that. It actually kills this germ on contact. Even in many severe cases, results with Double Danderine have been remarkable. Now, the amazing effectiveness of Double Danderine is due to a special ingredient, an active antiseptic so wonderfully efficient, many hospitals use it. In Double Danderine, we call it Alzan. So try Double Danderine and see if you don't agree that most other methods can't compare with its dandruff-combating effectiveness. If you're not completely satisfied, return the empty bottle and get your money back. Get Double Danderine today. Here comes the bride.
Very charming young couple. I'd like to introduce them to you. Our bride is Miss Edna Campbell. Her groom is Mr. L. Ray Stansel. Stansel, is that right?
Stansel, that's right.
What does the L stand for?
That stands for Lorne. It's a Canadian name.
Do you like the name Lorne?
No, I don't. I'd have to, they'd ask me what my name was, and I'd say Lorne Ray. They say, how you spell it? L-R-A-I-N-E? Lorraine? No, I said, it's pronounced Lorne. I'd have to go ahead and tell them every one, and I just got tired, so I just dropped in and go by Ray.
That's right.
It's much simpler.
You bet it's simpler. I've noticed that every time I meet somebody with a name like J. Cheever Loophole or something like that, or I something or other, it usually is because they're trying to forget a name. If you had a boy, would you name him?
I'd name him anything but Lorne, I believe.
Good advice. Well, speaking of names, what are the pet names you have for him, Edna?
Well, I call him a lot of things, but Raymond is my
Pet name. Mm-hmm. What are some of the other things? You said you call him a lot of things. Like
well, you
sweetheart
know.
or honey and all that.
Once in a while. She says that.
I see. Well, enough of that. Let's get acquainted, if you will, please, Edna. Some of the things about you, your age, where you were born, and so on.
I'm 23, and I was born in Cisco, Texas. I'm one of 5 children.
One of 5 in your family. Boys or girls?
4 girls and 1 boy.
Mm-hmm. You weren't quite sure for a moment, though.
I was leaving me out.
Yes. Well, don't do that. And did you live in Texas?
Lived in Texas, and Oklahoma, New Mexico, and Kansas.
You got around. What does your father do?
Minister.
Oh, I remember, yes, with that. And were they able to be here today?
No.
I'm sorry, but they're probably listening.
Yes.
Did you work?
I'm working.
You're going to continue to work?
Yes, sir. About a year.
Just about a year.
Yes.
Yes, Ray, if you will, please. A little bit about you.
Well, I was born in Seattle, Washington, and I came to Oklahoma City when I was 2 years old. I'm 26 now. I lived in Oklahoma City 24 years, and I work on-the-job training for my dad in the machine shop.
Mm-hmm.
And
did you go to school in Oklahoma City?
Well, I went 1 year at OCU and 1 year down at Oklahoma University. It's the state school, in Norman there in Oklahoma.
You were in service, Andrew?
Yes, I was in Coast Guard for nearly 4 years.
I see.
I was a stew burner, a cook, and boy, they really loved it. Really did some good job.
Good. Well, that's handy. Can you cook, Edna?
Well, not very well.
You're going to teach
I'm going to teach her.
Good.
Yes.
Settles one domestic problem. Tell me, if you will, please, how many brothers and sisters in your family?
Just 4 of us. My sister, and myself. And she's a matron of honor today, my sister.
Graham. Is she married? Oh, yes,
Yes.
matron of honor. She
Yes.
would be, wouldn't
Yes, she's from New York.
she? Your family here?
Yes, they're here.
I'm glad. Do they know your bride?
Yes, they know her.
Approve?
Well, I think so. They should. They said they did, anyway.
Well, I wouldn't question them. Anyway, the thing that we're all interested in, as you know, in just a few moments, you close the book on one chapter of your love story and begin a wonderful new life together. And we'd just sort of like to hear as much as you'd like to tell us of it from the very beginning. Who's going to start off?
Well, I guess I'll start it off here, and I'll get stuck while I'd help me out here a little.
Yes, go ahead.
This story started on a Sunday night, November 10th of last year. For about a year, I've been bowling a little. Kind of like it and trying to learn. So I decided I'd go bowling this Sunday night, and, of course, look around and see what I could see that was interesting. So I went to the Playmore Bowling Alley. It's a bowling alley in the heart of Oklahoma City. And I glanced it's upstairs, and I got at the head of the landing. I glanced around to see what I could see that'd be interesting to the eyes and help me out a little, where it wouldn't hurt my eyes. See something soothing. So I glanced over at Alley 12. It was to the north of the alley. And I noticed one girl in particular there. She was bowling with another girl, her girlfriend. And I says, that sure looks like a cute-looking skirt over there. I'm going over and see if I can't get acquainted with that. So I went over there and hinted around that I'd like to bowl, but I says, the attendant in charge says the alleys are all filled up, and you'd have to wait maybe an hour. So I went over and talking to him and told him the situation I was in. Do you think she would invite me to bowl? No, it had to be her girlfriend to say, well, would you like to bowl with us?
Wait a minute now. You mean that you lured the attendant over there and had a great big conversation so they could hear you, and then you didn't even take the hint?
No.
No! But her girlfriend did.
Yes, she was kind enough to say, well, would you like to bowl with us?
And
of course, I said yes.
And so you bowled?
So I went over and told him that the girls talked me into bowling with them, that I'd bowl be out on Alley 12.
And?
So I went back. I had my own shoes. As you know, if you're familiar with bowling, you have your own shoes. You get your name on the heel, so you can tell them apart from the other shoes. So they says, what name shall we put on what did your mother, I think you said, what did your mother call you, didn't you?
Yes.
And I says, here, and stuck my heel up so she'd get the name.
That's certainly an informal way to be introduced. But anyway, so you bowled. Did you have a nice time bowling with the girls?
Yes, I did.
Did you get acquainted with them a little bit?
Well, I tried to. She said I put her arm around her that night. I don't remember. I might have put her arm around it.
He did.
He
put
did?
his arm around me.
She said she didn't like it, but I kind of think she wanted to be there. She said if it wasn't people watching, she'd have put my arm down. But
Well, you see how you can get yourself into an awful mess of trouble just by putting your arm around a girl. This thing has gone a long way.
So we bowled a game, and I put my street shoes on, and leaving, I says, you have anything planned for the rest of the evening? She says, no. She says, I'm a working girl, I'm tired, and she says, I'm going on home. I says, would you like to go dancing or somewhere? She said, oh, I don't believe so, not tonight. So I says, well, I'll take you home then, if you don't mind. And I don't know, she didn't say much. I didn't know whether she's going to let me to or not. But we got downstairs, and I says, my car is this way. And she says, well, we're going to walk this way. I says, well, I'll take you. She says, I only live about 3 blocks. She lived in an apartment about 3 blocks from where the bowling alley was. So I finally talked her into going dancing. So she says, well, I have to go home and change clothes. So I waited for her, and we went dancing that evening. And
that's quite a change, isn't it? Yes.
Yes.
If you don't mind, I don't mean to be sort of, questioning. I just wonder what happened to the girlfriend.
Well, we left her at the apartment.
She was my roommate.
She was your roommate.
She was a roommate.
Mm-hmm. She was the one who was nice to you, so you wanted to take out a girlfriend. Are you two still friends now, Edna?
Yes.
Well, I'm glad. Tell me, you went dancing, had a nice time.
Yes,
Did you begin to like Ray that night?
Not much.
No. Ray?
Well, I thought she was kind of cute, kind of nice, but I wasn't getting all excited about her the first night.
No, well, when was your second date?
Wednesday night following.
Sunday, Wednesday, and then when was your third date?
Saturday night.
When did you two start going steady?
Oh, in about a couple months.
You went along like that 3 times a week for a couple of months, then it got steady.
I see.
We weren't going steady at first. We only had about 4 dates a week at first. We weren't going steady then. About 2 months, then we saw each other every night. And started going steady then. I asked her if she'd like to.
Mm-hmm. I see. Tell me, if you will, Edna, on which date did Ray first try to kiss you?
On the first night.
He tried. How did you make out?
We were sitting in the car in front of her apartment, and we talked about 15 minutes, so I said to myself, well, I'm going to see if I can't get a little kiss here before I take her in. So I reached over and kissed her, and just like kissing a dead fish, I told her.
I think we better leave that subject alone, too. Well, now, how long had you gone with Ray, Edna, when you realized that you were falling in love with him?
About 3 months.
That long? And how could you tell? I mean, what were all the symptoms? What did it feel like to you?
Well, I'd rather go with him than anyone else,
You
and I
just
was eager to get his call. And
And it's about the same, Ray?
Yes, if I'd missed one night seeing her, it seemed like it'd be a week before I get to see her again.
That's a pretty good sign. Because you're going to see an awful lot of each other from now on, and it's wonderful to have that eagerness. How long had you gone together when Ray proposed to you? She can't, the bride is a little speechless at the moment.
We was about 4 months, I think. I proposed to her April the 9th, the night I gave her engagement ring.
Mm-hmm. Where were you? What were you doing?
We were sitting on her divan with soft music playing in her apartment.
You had your arm around her?
Naturally.
Yeah.
I'll let her tell you what I said.
Did you have both arms around her?
No, I had just one arm. The other hand, I reached in and got the ring.
I see. Just wondered what was going on. And honey, what did he say?
he says, will you marry me for better, for worse?
I said something else. Don't you remember? I said, darling, I love you.
Marry me.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
You said, darling, I love you. Will you marry me for better or for worse? And you said...
I said, that isn't very original, but I'll accept.
He asked the right question. He got the right answer. This is the first time one of our grooms has given the bride a choice, though, when he proposed to her. To marry him for better or for worse. We have for the bride her beautiful bouquet. It's a beautiful round shower arrangement of white carnations and maidenhair fern tied with a white satin bow. Inserted corsage of 3 large mystery gardenias. A maid of honor bouquet is made especially to match her costume, an arm arrangement of delicate pink peonies tied with matching satin ribbon, all designed, of course, by Mr. John Patrick Burke, our famous floral artist of Beverly Hills, and very beautiful, as all of Mr. Burke's are. You are?
I'm Mrs. Ethel Hendrickson,
Oh, you're the sister.
sister of the groom.
Mm-hmm. How long have you been married?
1 year.
Ooh, good. Did you encourage this affair?
Well, I've been living in New York City, but I've just heard about through letters. So I met the bride-to-be for the first time coming out here.
She's very lovely, isn't she?
She certainly
I
is.
think your brother made a wise choice. You, sir?
I'm Wayne Reeves.
Proud father.
That's right.
I remember, yes. When?
Yesterday morning.
Good. All right. Hope you do as well as the best man. Maybe that's why he's called it. We have for the best man the bride's wedding ring, selected as always from Brock and Company of Beverly Hills and Los Angeles. One of the truly great names in jewelry. As you'll see, it is a very lovely diamond band. Slip that in your pocket. Edna, do you have on something old?
Yes.
And new?
Yes.
And borrowed?
Yes.
And blue?
No.
No blue?
I happen to know that people from Oklahoma do things in a big way, so I have a blue garter for the bride.
Jack, please. Honey, you take this, and you slip behind us, and you put it on. If you will. Just turn around this way, fellas. Yes. Ready? Yes. Ready? Do you have a pen in your shoe? Yes. And the name of your love song?
If you were the only girl.
Good. Right now, as our bride and groom in the wedding party go down the aisle, out through the lovely gardens of the Chapman Park Hotel to the Old World Chapel, where the clergyman waits, Jack McElroy sings their love song.
If you were the only girl in the world, and I were the only boy, nothing else would matter in the world today. We could go on loving in the same old way. Now go her joy. I would say such wonderful things to you. There would be such wonderful things to do if you were the only girl in the world, and I were the only boy.
Well, each day they're different, and each day they're cute, and each day they're wonderfully enthusiastic, and each day they're so much in love that, I don't know, just something sort of special. Well, it's enough for me for a moment, because here are some real words of wisdom from someone who really knows.
One of the most tragic things about hair that lacks luster, hair that's not delightfully fragrant, is that so many women have this social or business handicap. So don't take chances. Start today to give your hair a once-a-week washing with emulsified coconut oil shampoo. You'll quickly see why smart women everywhere will use nothing but emulsified shampoo. It's totally different from so many soaps that leave your hair wearing an unattractive coat of afterfilm, for it rinses out readily and thus gives your hair a lustrous sheen and a fragrant freshness that adds to your beauty and charm. Moreover, emulsified shampoo not only beautifies but protects as well, for it removes loose dandruff instantly and contains none of the harmful free alkalis often present in ordinary soaps. Its rich, creamy lather is so mild, so gentle, you can use this shampoo as much as you want without harm. And it's a shampoo you'll enjoy using too, for it foams fast, lathers freely, and cleanses oiliness without tiresome rubbing. So get the big bottle at any toilet goods counter. It gives you more, saves you money, lasts for months. Ask for emulsified coconut oil shampoo today.
Thank you very much. Today it's my pleasure to introduce to you ladies here and on the air also a lovely young lady. She's an RKO starlet. She's currently appearing with Shirley Temple and Cary Grant in The Bachelor and the Bobby Soxer. And she is a very up-and-coming, very promising young starlet. Someday you'll know her as well as we know any star on the screen. I'd like you to meet Miss Marilyn Mercer. Will you come up here, please, Miss Mercer? Say, you are pretty.
Oh,
You're
thank
pretty.
you.
You should go a long way in pictures.
Oh, thank you very much. I hope to.
Good. Will you want to describe away?
Yes, I do. She's a very charming bride, auburn-haired, and she's dressed in a gown of white lace and tulle, and it has a sweetheart neckline with a yoke of neck, and a fitted bodice of lace ending in a peplum over a very full tulle skirt with about 3-yard train, and the sleeves are long and fitted, ending in points over the hand, and she has a fingertip veil held by a heart-shaped tiara of lace outlined in seed pearls.
Mm-hmm.
And the matron of honor is dressed in a pink lace and tulle with pink flowers in her hair, and the groom is a very nice-looking brunette dressed in a tuxedo.
It's a very nice description. Very good job. Well, don't go away now. Don't go mad. I would like to know a couple of little things about you, if you don't mind. You mind telling me how old you are?
19.
I thought very young. It's Miss, isn't it?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Do you have any special boyfriends?
No.
No?
No. Very special.
You're going to
like
you're going to play the field for a while.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Going to have your career first.
Very much career minded.
When do you think you'll be around getting married? Thinking about it.
Oh, I don't know. I really haven't. I'm just waiting until the time comes, and then I'll be ready.
Yes. That could be soon. Yeah. I want to thank you very much for doing that very nice job. Is that your first picture, the Bobby Soxer?
That's right.
That's the first one? Have you been under contract to RKO long?
Since February.
I see. Well, they must have some plans for you.
Well, I hope so.
Sure.
It's a wonderful studio. I love it.
They're very nice people over there.
Very
I know a couple
nice.
of characters named Perry Lieber and Bill Livingston and Frank Parker over there.
They're wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's been wonderful.
Thank you very much, and good luck to you in your career. Miss Mercer. Say, a lot of our listeners have written in the last few days to say how much they enjoyed the picture story in the current issue of Look magazine on the honeymoon of one of our bride and groom couples. We're pretty proud of our bride and groom honeymoons, and even though this was a special honeymoon arranged by Look, it shows our honeymooners at several of the beautiful hotels where we send couples, such as the Del Monte Lodge at Pebble Beach, Last Frontier in Las Vegas, and other beautiful spots. I know you listeners who've written in for pictures for our honeymoon spots will enjoy particularly this issue of Look, as there are 10 pages of beautiful pictures of our honeymooning couples. Say, speaking of honeymooning couples today, we, by a strange coincidence, not so strange, we have 3 of them here. Where are you folks who've been married a very short time? There's 1, 2, 3, 4. Over here, I see. You are?
Mrs. E.D. Schaefer, Chicago, Illinois.
And this is the?
Edward Schaefer.
How long been married?
13 days.
13 days. That's lucky, though, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
You betcha. And let's see, you folks here are?
Mrs. Lou Daratani from Detroit, Michigan.
Gee, what a glance you gave him. And how long have you been married?
10 days.
10 days, I see. And over here, holding hands like mad over here, not listening to a word that anybody says. You are?
Mrs. Fred W. Stone, San Diego, California.
And this is Mr. Stone.
That's correct.
And how long have you been married, Mr. Stone?
67 hours and 52 minutes.
Well, I don't blame him for not listening. Well, you know, young people who have been married a very short time like this sometimes have very good ideas on marriages, and I would like to ask you, raise a little question. You may or may not be aware of it, but sooner or later you will be aware of the fact that in every family there's some one person, either the husband or the wife, who takes the lead in making most decisions, financial or otherwise, whatever they may be. And judging from your own limited experience and being aware of the problem now, I'd like to ask you, if you will, please, to sort of tell me who you think is going to wear the pants in the family up here. The one you saw today. The young folks been married 13 days
My
here?
husband.
Your husband will wear them in your family?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Who do you think is going to, of the bride and groom?
The groom.
Mm-hmm. And you?
I think the groom should.
You think the groom should. Who do you think is going to?
The groom.
Mm-hmm. And you?
I'm positive the groom will.
Mm-hmm. That's 10 days married, and you?
Pretty sure.
Pretty sure the groom will. Well, we'll ask these folks who've been married here 67 hours.
I think we're both going to.
You're both going to. Well, that's what being married 3 days or 2 days can do for you. Who do you think's going to wear the pants in the bride and groom family up here, the one you just saw today?
I think the groom will.
You think the groom will?
Well, I believe so, but she claims she's going to be the boss because the toe next to her big toe is longer than her big toe. I don't think so.
I don't think we'll go into that right now. Coming back from the chapel, very less than a minute, our very happy young bride and groom. Congratulations, Ray. Would you step over here? If you step right over here, I have some lovely gifts for you, and I want you to see them. What, Jack?
John, since they met in the bowling alley, I have a bowling ball for the groom. It has a chain on it, of course.
Oh, fine. We have for you folks here your beautiful silver. It's sterling from Gorham, of course. Since 1831, the aristocrat of American silver, of sterling all over, too, all over the world. Gorham is so famous for the beautiful patterns, and each day they present our bride and groom their choice of 5 of them. There's King Edward, Sovereign, Greenbrier, Old French, and English Gadroon. Complete service for 24 pieces of Gorham sterling. Here from Max Factor is a makeup kit, just as designed for the stars of Hollywood, presented to our bride and groom. Very lovely indeed. For the groom to take on the honeymoon, a camera, very beautiful Argoflex, the finest made by the Argus Camera Company. Reflex action, you can see the pictures. You take it, and a year's supply of Ankin film. From Skyway, your luggage. Very beautiful luggage it is, too. This is the Skyway Victoria. Very beautiful indeed. That for the groom is the very famous commuter. You've seen the Skyway luggage advertised in famous magazines. Here's your wedding album. This from Bernard of Hollywood in Palm Springs with formal portraits and candid shots of everything that took place here today. And also Capitol Records of Hollywood, who record your favorite artists, have recorded every word said on this program, including the proposal. And you'll have a talking picture in that special album. We have this is from the radio division of the Bendix Aviation Corporation, smartly streamlined plastic radio so you can hear bride and groom wherever you may be. Our sponsor has a brand new product. It's called Phillips Skin Cream and Phillips Cleansing Cream. We present it to our bride to help you keep that youthful radiance and beauty that you have today. And for your home, since you can both cook, here's the new 1947 Clapham gas range. This is indeed a beauty with it's the range of exclusive features you can see with a glass window and the oven door, the serviette trays and patio set and oh so many things. Exclusive features. Well, keep your mind on what we're doing over here, will you? This Clapham will be a beauty in your home. But now for talking about your honeymoon, which is the next thing on the docket.
Waiting outside is a Tanner motor livery limousine with uniformed chauffeur waiting to drive you to Los Angeles Municipal Airport. You'll board a special Western Airlines plane for a flight north along the Pacific Ocean to the honeymooners' paradise. At the Salinas Airport, you'll be met by a limousine from the Gray Line Company of Monterey, which will drive you to your honeymoon destination, the beautiful Rio Del Mar Hotel, situated on the cliffs of Monterey Bay, just 85 miles south of San Francisco. The Rio Del Mar is justly famous for its beauty, its spacious grounds, and its luxurious accommodations. The attractive beach club located on the shores of Monterey Bay will be at your disposal, and there's dinner dancing nightly in the lovely desert room overlooking the beautiful historic bay. You'll occupy the bridal suite, of course, naturally, and manager Morton Hart, a very fine host, will demonstrate for you the hospitality for which the Rio Del Mar is so widely known. And when your honeymoon is over, you'll be flown back to Hollywood by Western Airlines. Incidentally, we have 3 young couples here married a very short time on honeymoons, and we asked them who's going to wear the pants in your family. And before I tell you what they said, I want to invite all of you to be our guests tonight at the beautiful Zephyr Room out here of the Chapman Park Hotel. Wonderful intimate entertainment. I believe Dwight Fisk, the very famous entertainer, is opening there tonight, but you'll have champagne, cocktails, and steaks and stuff that you like, and from there on your own. But they all said that you were going to wear the pants in the family. However, they've been married 13 days, 10 days, and 3 days. I've been married 5 years. Jack, how long have you been married? 8 years. So between the two of us, with our 13 years, we overruled them. However, here are the pants for you to wear in your family. A pair of beautiful satin silk old-fashioned pantaloons. Right now, it's good luck to our bride and groom as they leave on their honeymoon, and all good wishes for a long, happy married life. See the rest of you folks tomorrow.
How do you feel today? Do you feel any of the discomforts of acid indigestion coming on? Heartburn, headachy, upset feeling? If you do, remember that Phillips Milk of Magnesia relieves the discomforts of acid indigestion almost at once. So when you want to soothe and settle an upset stomach, take Phillips Milk of Magnesia. The wonderful relief you get will prove to you why Phillips is rated among the fastest, most effective neutralizers of stomach acids known. At night time, Phillips relieves the discomforts of acid indigestion that make you toss and turn. You sleep soundly. What's more, when necessary, taken at bedtime in water, 2 to 4 tablespoonfuls of Phillips Milk of Magnesia will help you to start the day feeling bright and cheerful. Caution, use only as directed. So buy Phillips, ask for it by its full name, Phillips, Phillips, Milk of Magnesia, not for Milk of Magnesia alone. Today, get Phillips Milk of Magnesia at any drugstore. We know that many of you are planning to see Bride and Groom on your visit to California. Be sure and write in advance for tickets to Bride and Groom, Hollywood 28, California. Jack McElroy speaking. Bride and Groom with John Nelson comes to you every day, Monday through Friday, at this same time from Hollywood.
Relieve painful cold sores, fever blisters, minor cuts and burns, scratches with Camphor-Phenique. It contains a mild surface anesthetic to help stop pain. Also combats infections. Get Camphor-Phenique, famous liquid antiseptic dressing from druggists. Use as directed. Camphor-Phenique, spelled Camphophenique. Camphor-Phenique. This is ABC, the American Broadcasting Company. Fastidious women know that hair must be washed frequently and thoroughly to keep it not only lustrous, but what's more important, fresh and cleanly fragrant. These women are smart. They shampoo regularly with emulsified coconut oil shampoo. For emulsified leaves no afterfilm to become unpleasant, but makes hair soft, gleaming, and always cleanly fragrant. Remember, emulsified coconut oil shampoo.
From Hollywood, we present Bride and Groom. With your master of ceremonies, John Nelson.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon. They say it's the woman who's always late. But that isn't true of the couple we'll meet at our bride and groom wedding party at the Chapman Park Hotel here today. Because on the first date our bride and groom ever had, he kept her waiting 2 hours. Well, you'd think that would about nip any romance in the bud, but apparently it didn't, and there's much more to it. For now the couple will be married out in the old chapel under the trees after they've told us their story. First, here is our own Jack McElroy.
If you've never tried real Bayer aspirin, join the millions who use it for fast, reliable relief from ordinary headache, neuritic, or neuralgic pain. Once you've experienced its amazingly fast yet gentle relief, you'll likely never again use anything except Bayer aspirin. You can actually see why Bayer aspirin gives such fast relief by doing this. Drop a Bayer aspirin tablet in a glass of water. Watch what happens. You'll see it start to disintegrate within 2 seconds. What it does in that glass, it does in your stomach. And because of this amazing 2-second disintegrating action, Bayer aspirin relieves pain with astonishing speed. So next time you have a headache, neuritic, or neuralgic pain and want really fast relief, remember that Bayer aspirin is ready to go to work almost instantly you take it. And also remember that Bayer aspirin has been used without ill effect by millions of normal people. When you buy, ask for it by its full name, Bayer aspirin, never by the name aspirin alone. 25 cents for 24 Bayer aspirin tablets, virtually 1 cent a tablet.
Here's to the bride and groom on their joyous wedding day. Let's toast the lucky pair, start them on their way. We wish them every happiness today.
Oh, a very charming young couple. It's a pleasure to introduce our bride, Miss Betty Garvin. Her groom is Mr. Walter Marshall. Betty, you're a very charming young bride. Are you a little bit nervous today?
Yes, I am.
Mm-hmm. Walter?
Same here.
But it wouldn't be traditional if you weren't. I understand you saw some action during this last war, Walter.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Were you as nervous then as you are now?
Never.
Well, this lasts a lot longer than any action he's seen. Tell me a few things. Let's get acquainted, if you will.
Well, I'm 19 years old, and I came to California 5 years ago.
You better talk a little louder, too.
Okay.
With your family, they moved here?
Yes,
How many in your family?
Well, there's 5 children and my father and mother.
Boys or girls?
1 sister and 3 brothers.
Mm-hmm. That came out right. I'm surprised. Where'd you say you were born?
In Atoka, Oklahoma.
In what?
Atoka, Oklahoma.
Atoka.
Uh-huh.
You see? And you moved out here 5 years ago.
Yes,
You finished your schooling here.
Yes.
Did you go to work then?
Yes, sir.
And do you work now?
Yes, sir.
You going to continue to work?
Yes, sir.
For about how long?
Until we start our family.
Until what?
We start our family.
Oh, I see. Oh, that's very sensible and very, very honest procedure about the whole business. Walter, about you, please.
Well, I was born in McAllister, Oklahoma, and, well, I don't know when I moved. I've moved so much that I can't keep track of it.
How old are you?
22.
How many in your family?
I have 3 brothers. No sister, my mother and father.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, that's 4 in your family and 5 in yours. Do you think 4 or 5 children is the right size family?
No, 3.
3 is right.
That's right.
We agree on that. You were in service?
Yes.
In what branch?
Navy and Merchant Marine.
Where all did you serve?
Well, in Persia and Arabia, China, Shanghai and Hong Kong, Siam and the Philippines.
We're very proud of young men who gave so much to make our victory possible. Walter, others may forget about the young man, but we sure aren't going to hear, and we hope nobody else does. Anyway, what's your civilian occupation?
I'm an electrician for an electrical contractor.
An electrician?
Yes.
I think he made a pretty good connection here, don't you?
I sincerely do.
She's very lovely. What?
You bet she is.
You betcha! Ah, that's grand. That is the proper attitude that you both have towards each other. What are your eyes, green?
Just about.
Mm-hmm. What color do they get when she's mad, Walter?
Oh, it's Spitfire.
That's cute. Well, you two have a very wonderful, tender love story, and it's sort of a typical American love story. I mean, I don't think it could happen anywhere else. And all I want to know is who's going to tell us all about it before you go out of the chapel.
Go ahead.
You have the go-ahead.
Oh, well, I met him September 15th, 1945.
That was about 19, about 20 months ago.
That's right,
Mm-hmm. And how did you meet him? Under what circumstances?
Well, my maid of honor introduced me to him.
How did that happen?
Well, she told me about him for a long time before I ever met him. And
Build-up talk?
Oh, yes. And I talked to him on the telephone before I ever got to go out with him, and I had all planned to go out with him, and he was 2 hours late.
That's a fine beginning. You mean that you got all ready for a date? Were you going to go out with him?
Yes.
And the two of you were going out, and...
No, 3 couples.
3 couples?
She was long. She introduced me
And you
to
got
him.
yourself all fixed up, and he was 2 hours late.
2 hours late.
You know, in view of the fact that he's going to be a married man in about 3 minutes, I think it's appropriate to find out how he got out of that one.
Well, the PE run into a car. Ask the best man. He'll vouch.
You know, Walt, there are going to be times in your married life when you aren't going to have a best man along to vouch for it. You better be a little more convincing in future stories. But we'll take your word for it now. And he was late, and so what happened? Did you give him fits?
Oh, I was pretty disgusted. I didn't know him very well, so I didn't bawl him out or anything, but I was very disgusted. And it was raining at that.
Mm-hmm.
So we went dancing, and we had a very nice time.
Did you?
Mm-hmm.
Did you get back in a good graces that evening?
Oh, yes.
I don't know how.
Pretty late, but we got back.
Pretty late, and back in good graces.
Mhm.
And did you had a nice time, you say?
Oh, very nice.
Did you like him by the end of the evening?
Well, I was so disappointed at first it was hard for me to decide, but I liked him just average.
Mm-hmm. Did you like her?
I can't tell.
That's not a very good beginning for a romance. Well, did you like her enough to ask for another date?
Oh, yes.
And did you ask her like him enough to give the date?
Yes,
You went out again soon?
The next night,
I see. It was not quite so tepid as it seemed at first. Did you have another date soon after that?
The next day was Sunday, so we went out Sunday, too.
You went out Friday, Saturday, and Sunday?
Yes, sir.
Then what happened?
We went boat riding in my little boat.
On Sunday?
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. How many dates did you have, Betty, before you started going steady with Walter?
Well, he shipped out January the 4th, so we went together steady at that time, but we weren't.
Nothing.
No.
Tell me, I wonder if they were or if they weren't in advance, or whether they knew it or not. Walter, on which day did you first try to kiss her?
On the boat ride.
Uh-huh. Now, here is a Navy man who takes his girl boat riding on Sunday. And I'll bet with every intention... Had you planned to try to kiss her on this trip?
No, it was unintentional, but I lost...
Likely story, isn't it?
I wasn't prepared when I kissed her around my boat aground.
Oh, no. You mean that you took her out boat riding, you're going along, and here you are, an experienced Navy man and also a merchant marine, and you're out and you're kissing a girl and you let it go aground.
She was watching the bridegroom. She let it run aground.
She was watching you while you were kissing.
She was the helmsman.
Now it's her fault that he kissed her. Well, you say that actually you were separated, you were going steady, and you sort of had fun, but there was no...
Nothing definite, no.
No. Mm-hmm. Tell me, if you will, please, how long had you gone together when Walter proposed to you? Was it before or after the separation?
Oh, before.
It was?
About 2 weeks.
2 weeks before you left, you proposed. Where were you, Walter?
Well, we were at the Club New Yorker in Long Beach.
Mm-hmm.
And on the way home...
You had your arm around her?
Oh, sure.
And how did you say it?
Well, I asked her if she would wait until I got back from overseas again.
And what did you say?
Well, I didn't know for sure, so I said I would be single when he got back, but I wouldn't wear a ring. I wouldn't.
In other words, you wouldn't be engaged.
Yes.
And
until I was sure.
That's right. So that meant how long separation, Walter?
Well, I was gone 9 months this time.
And you two wrote regularly?
Yes.
What were the letters about? Well, that's very interesting to know that. You can tell a lot about what they're thinking.
He writes very good letters.
Were they sort of...
Mm-hmm.
And her letters, Walter?
I very seldom got them.
Oh.
Tell me, well, did you waited this whole 9-month period, and
yes.
Then Walter came back?
Uh-huh.
What was his status when you arrived, Walter?
I was in the hospital at Frisco,
mm-hmm.
and she flew to San Francisco to meet
see
me.
you?
And I had a few hours before I had to enter the hospital there, and I got to see her, and then she came back and went to work.
Sure. And on seeing Walter again, were you sure?
Yes.
Right away?
Uh-huh.
And then, did you have to propose all over again?
Oh, yes.
Well, tell me about the second time. Maybe it was a little bit better.
Well, we had a little trouble, so I left.
What sort of trouble, if you don't mind telling us?
Oh, I don't mind at all. We just wasn't for sure yet whether it was
it kind of boy trouble?
Yes, it was, and girl trouble. It was both of us, our fault. So I left. When I come back, well, we just started going together again, and we had quite an argument. And we said, well, we'll go together until the 15th of March. And if everything isn't straight by then, well, that's it. So the 15th of March rolled around, and here we are.
Trying to settle that. This is the 23rd of May, and from now on, everything is mixed up, believe me. Well, I know you two will be very happy. I think you were wise to wait, and I'm sure you're glad you did because you've got a lifetime ahead of you together. We have for the bride her beautiful bouquet, a round shower arrangement of white gladiola blossoms, showered with white satin streamers and maidenhair fern. The removable corsage is made of 4 pink cymbidium orchids. The bridesmaid bouquet, or rather the maid of honors, is also a round arrangement of lavender sweet peas and yellow tulips, tied with lavender satin ribbon. All designed, of course, by Mr. John Patrick Burke, our very famous floral artist of Beverly Hills, who designs them for the stars of pictures and also the stars, our brides, and her bridesmaids. You are?
Lois Parcel.
Lois, you got these two together?
Well, yes, finally.
Good idea. How long did you work at it?
20 months.
That was a long time. Are you Miss or Mrs.?
Yes.
You looking for somebody to look for somebody?
I keep looking.
Yes, sir. And you are?
Marty Jacobs.
The best man.
Yes, sir.
Are you single?
Yes, sir.
Do you know about the bridesmaid looking?
Yes.
Well, if he doesn't know it, we ought to tell him. And are you looking?
No.
You're not looking yet?
No.
You what?
I found her.
Oh, you found her. You've already got your own. Well, we'll look around a little bit more. We have for the best man the bride's wedding ring, selected as always from Brock and Company of Beverly Hills in Los Angeles, one of the truly great names in jewelry. As you see, this, like all of Brock's jewelry, is exquisitely beautiful. Tiny diamond band, slip that in your pocket. And, Betty, do you have on something old?
Yes, sir.
And new?
Yes, sir.
And borrowed?
Hmm?
And blue?
No.
Oh, I got a blue garter for the bride. That'll just fit her, John.
Very smaller. Well, he slipped behind us here. We'll have a little screening operation, fellas. If you will, please. While the bride slips on her blue garter in complete privacy, believe me. Ready? Good. And penny in your shoe?
Yes.
And the name of your love song?
Together.
Together?
Yes.
And that's what it'll always be. And now as our bride and groom and the wedding party go down the aisle, out through the lovely gardens of the Chapman Park Hotel to the Old World Chapel where the clergyman waits, Jack McElroy sings their love song together.
We strolled the lane together, laughed at the rain together, sang love's refrain together, and we'd both pretend it would never end. One day we cried together, cast love aside together. You're here with me, and in my memory, we always will be
Thank you, Jack and Gaylord. That's a lovely song for a very, very charming young bride and her groom. And right now, we'll have a few words that I think you'll enjoy listening to.
Next time you go to your dentist to have your teeth cleaned, notice how he often starts with powder. A powder, of course, made exclusively for professional use. Naturally, you can't use the dentist powder for daily home use, but you can get a powder made especially for daily home use that millions use. It's called Dr. Lyon's Tooth Powder, and is used by more people than any other brand of powder. Dr. Lyon's tooth powder contains the best known agents for cleaning and polishing. So if your teeth are beginning to lose their natural brightness, look dull and unattractive due to improper cleansing, try Dr. Lyon's tooth powder. See how even such dull, cloudy teeth quickly regain their natural sparkle and beauty. So for a smile that reveals all the natural beauty of your teeth, have your dentist clean your teeth twice each year with his special powder. And above all, clean them yourself twice each day with Dr. Lyon's tooth powder. Enjoy its delightful, full flavor that makes your mouth feel extra clean, extra fresh. Get a can of Dr. Lyon's today.
Thank you very much. And today, it's our pleasure to introduce to you a very noted Hollywood designer whose works I'm sure most of you are very familiar with. She actually needs no introduction to those of you who are style conscious. Mrs. Beatrice Boyd. Will you come up, Mrs. Boyd, please? Good. We're very pleased to have you here.
Thank you.
Will you describe away?
Describe the bride.
Bride and her gown and her bridesmaid and the groom and his costume and everybody else.
The bride is an exceptionally attractive young blonde with peaches and cream coloring. Her curls frame her face and fall to her shoulders. The white satin gown with long sleeves has a train in the back. It ends in a rather square shape. The bodice is fitted and draped with shoulders faithful to her own. The skirt is shirred onto the fitted band at the waist. And the bride is wearing a small white lace picture hat with a lace-edged veil hanging below the waist and back. The bridesmaid is wearing a pink moire taffeta bouffant draped skirt with demure tailoring at the top, tiny buttons from the neck to the waist.
I think that's a very good description. Now, how about the groom and the best man?
The groom is dressed appropriately and with his bride, and also the groom.
What do you call it? Is it the cutaway coat and striped trousers and ascot tie? Is that what it is?
That's right.
I don't know very much about these things, you know. I'm only getting used to civilian clothes myself. Tell me, if you will, what is new in fashions, or what might be of interest to the ladies, Mrs. Boyd? Is there anything you'd like to say about your own work, or?
Well, in the ties, you mean?
Or yes, that's an interesting idea.
Men seem to be following the trend of wanting ties to fit in with their personality. I find that men pick their own ties to fit in with their personality on the whole. I've been interested in painting ties.
I just hid mine. It's a Christmas gift, but go ahead.
I've been interested in painting ties for the studios. For Fifth Avenue, it happened on Fifth Avenue. I painted a small painting of Fifth Avenue with a bus and the bus driver going around Central Park through up and down the avenue with little typical trees and.
That's a rather new idea, isn't it, to make ties that illustrate movies or...
yes, for Stork Bites Man, I painted the storks putting across the ties. Buddy Rogers is wearing one of them. And for the picture...
that would be very appropriate for me, wouldn't it, that Stork Bite Man tie? In fact, have you got one with two storks?
You shall have one with several storks.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Boyd. That's certainly a very fine description. We so appreciate you coming down to do the job. So I'd like to take this occasion to send along congratulations to an old friend of mine who's being married tomorrow in New York. I'm sorry he couldn't be out here with us. It's John Sharon, a wonderful fellow who's marrying Jean Pring, a very lovely young lady who works for Guideposts Associates in Pauling, New York. Here's wishing them every good fortune from all of us at Bride and Groom. We're sorry they couldn't be with us here. Also, while I'm about it, I'd like to express my thanks to some very nice people who recently sent me gifts, which are always appreciated, of course. Just like that Stork Bites Man necktie, which would be a very favorite thing. To the governor of Idaho first, a very fine fellow, for some very wonderful Idaho potatoes, of which Idaho is so justly famous. They're great, big, delicious Idaho russets. I certainly enjoyed them baked. I would enjoy more, too, Governor, if you have some. And to Mrs. Arno Cazenavi of Arno's world-famous restaurant in New Orleans for the delightful shrimp sauce. Believe me, the fame of Arno's is truly deserved. Now, with some more Idaho potatoes and some more Arno's shrimp sauce, I could become known as the gourmet of North Hollywood, I think, if I tried.
There are two folks here today who are celebrating anniversaries that are way up there, and I'd like to find, let's see, where are they? You folks right here. Where are the other couple? Oh, fine. Oh, right behind you. Will you introduce yourself, please?
Mr. John A. Cobb.
And you, sir?
Mr. John A. Cobb.
Cobb. From where, sir?
K-O-L-B, Cobb.
Cobb. Mm-hmm.
Well, I come from Minnesota here, but I was raised in Illinois.
And you two now live here in California?
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm. Did you raise a family, Mrs. Cobb?
6 children.
Good.
4 boys and 2 girls.
That's a nice-sized family.
Yeah.
Any grandchildren?
Oh, yes, and a great-grandchildren, too. I've
Good.
got 6 grandchildren and 2 great-grandchildren.
Well, you're pretty proud of those
I think
youngsters
so,
of yours.
too. I sure am.
I don't blame you a bit. They did mighty well by you.
Yes.
And you folks back here, Mr. and Mrs., your name, please?
This is Walter Graham, Los Angeles.
Graham?
Gray, G-R-A-Y.
Gray, I see. And Mr. Gray? And you folks live out here now. Where did you live originally?
Des Moines, Iowa.
Oh, you'd have lots of friends listening in back there on KERNT, the station back there, or KRNT. And you folks, did you raise a family?
1 daughter.
1 daughter?
1 daughter.
Any grandchildren?
No.
Will you speak to that daughter of yours?
Yes, I'll too late again.
Oh, fine. Right here? You heard what we said, didn't you? Oh, fine. Okay, well, anyway, we have you here, and you folks, Mr. and Mrs. Cobb, you're celebrating which anniversary?
60th.
Your 60th wedding anniversary today, and you folks here? Your 60th also?
Yes.
Well, we certainly congratulate both of these very wonderful couples for their wonderful occasion for us. Believe me, that's a record to be proud of, and I'm going to ask you two, since you've done so well by yourselves and by your families and all, to sort of, if you will, in a few words, sum up the secret of your success. Maybe our bride and groom can use it. If you will, please.
What?
Mr. and Mrs. Cobb?
Mrs. Cobb and Mrs. Cobb.
Yeah.
And,
what is the secret of your success in marriage?
Oh, well, we worked so hard we hadn't time to quarrel. And we was on the farm, married in Iowa, and then moved to Minnesota, and was on the farm, and of course we didn't both get mad at the same time.
That's a great idea. How did you manage that, Mr. Cobb?
Well, good idea to keep quiet sometimes.
Well, it is. I've told my wife that. I hope she's listening. She's also told me plenty, too. And you, Mrs. Gray, what would you say?
Well, I think if we remember our marriage vows, we won't go very wrong.
I think that's true.
And have your husband's meals on time.
That's very important, isn't it? Mr. Gray?
Yeah.
Would you like to add anything to that?
Oh, if my wife talks, you better talk than I have.
That's another secret of a happy married life. We have, for each of you charming folks on this anniversary of yours, 4 very beautiful, very thin 17-jewel Groom Precision watches, a product of the Groom Watch Company. Congratulations. Come back and see us on your next anniversary. Coming back from the chapel, and how happy they look, all over their nervousness, our lovely bride, a very handsome groom. Walt, congratulations to you. Would you want to stand over here so I can show you? When I say congratulations, I mean congratulations. There was some doubt in your mind whether you were going to make it. Would you mind standing aside, honey, so I can show you gifts? First of all, for you here is beautiful luggage from Skyway for your honeymoon. This is the famous Skyway commuter for the groom, and this is the beautiful Victoria for the bride. You've seen them advertised in world-famous magazines, the New Yorker and Vogue and all. This makeup kit was designed for the stars of Hollywood. It'll serve very well for our bride. It's Max Factor's very finest, with his fine makeup and a beautiful leather case. This is from Bernard of Hollywood in Palm Springs. It's your wedding album, has formal portraits and candid shots, as you can see, everything that took place here. And Capitol Records of Hollywood, who record your favorite artists, also record our favorite artists. That's you, our bride and groom. Has every word you said here today in a special wedding album, so that, believe me, you'll have every single word a talking picture. From Gorham since 1831, America's leading silversmith. Each day our bride and groom are presented their choice of 5 of Gorham's many exquisite patterns. There's Buttercup, Chantilly, Sovereign, Greenbrier, and Camellia. Today, complete service for 24 pieces of Gorham sterling. You'll want pictures for your honeymoon, for your memory book, and here is the famous Argoflex camera with a reflex action, the finest made by the Argus Camera Company, and a year's supply of Ankin film. We also have for you from the radio division of the Bendix Aviation Corporation a smartly streamlined plastic Bendix radio, so you'll never miss bride and groom. And for your home, something wonderful. Here it is, the 1947 Tappan gas range. Saffron, a range of exclusive features with the divided top, the serve-a-tray covers, the tell-you set, the visual light oven with a glass window and the oven door so you can see the food as it cooks. Oh, that's very fine. And from our sponsor, here's a new product of theirs. It's Phillips Skin Cream and Phillips Cleansing Cream. We give it to all of our brides. Now, about your honeymoon, we have a really wonderful honeymoon for you today. Usually we send our couples by Western Airlines, but there's so much to see and do where you're going that I know that you'd like to have a car to enjoy it. So, therefore, we've arranged for you to have the use of one of our bride and groom automobiles, a brand new 1947 Mercury convertible coupe. In the Mercury, you'll drive north along the historic El Camino Real until you reach your honeymoon haven, the beautiful Circle Bar B Guest Ranch, located in picturesque Refugio Canyon above Santa Barbara, California. At the Circle Bar B, you'll have a lovely little honeymoon cottage built especially for young people like you. This cottage is so secluded from the other cottages, which is a nice idea for honeymooners. It has a large fireplace I know you'll particularly enjoy in the evenings, and the Circle Bar B is located in beautiful Los Padres National Forest and is a wonderful place for outdoor sports or just relaxing. The food is grand. Your hostess for a week's stay will be Mrs. Florence Brown, a true native daughter of the Golden West and an exponent of the finest traditions of Western hospitality. Will you single girls get up here now? We'd like to toss our bride's bouquet. Come on, I know. I spot them. Here's a wire for you for your memory book. It says, congratulations to the bride and groom of May 23rd from the bride and groom of May 22nd, Pat and Jimmy Barnes. It's a nice little idea. We're going to toss our bride's bouquet, but I guess we'll have to do it after we leave the air. For right now, we wish our bride and groom all success and health for a long, happy married life. You folks listen now to some words of wisdom. We'll see the rest of you on Monday.
You know what our baby is like? Said Mr. Maxwell to the missus. He's like a balloon the way he flies around the house with his games and toys. Right, agreed Mrs. Maxwell, even to the way his energy collapses when he doesn't feel well. I guess many parents have noticed that about their child. And when baby spirits do collapse like a balloon, they most likely know exactly what to do to make him well again. I know that's true of most modern mothers anyhow. For when baby needs a laxative, they give their baby the laxative that's made specially for children, Fletcher's Castoria. Fletcher's Castoria contains no harsh ingredients as some adult laxatives do. It's gentle, effective, just right for babies and small children. Furthermore, babies love to take Fletcher's Castoria because its taste is so pleasant. All in all, these are pretty good reasons why you mothers should get some Fletcher's Castoria and always have it on hand. So visit your druggist today and ask him for a bottle. Caution, use only as directed. And look for the green band on the package. Then you can be sure you have the original children's laxative, genuine Fletcher's Castoria.
Bride and Groom with John Nelson comes to you every day, Monday through Friday, at this same time from Hollywood.
Don't just whiten your shoes, ladies. Use Energine Shoe White. Actually cleans as it whitens. Yes, and because it contains the whitest pigment money can buy, it gives your shoes a snowy whiteness that's unsurpassed. So today, get the best, whitest Energine Shoe White of all time. This is ABC, the American Broadcasting Company. Broadcasting Company. Broadcasting Company. Broadcasting Company.
Keep it clean with Energine. Whether it's a silk dress or a lace curtain, a tweed suit, or an upholstered chair, simply follow directions and Energine cleaning fluid will clean it without leaving telltale rings. Actually makes dirty grease spots go right before your eyes. Get Energine at drug, grocery, or variety stores. From Hollywood, we present Bride and Groom. With your master of ceremonies, John Nelson.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Good afternoon. The old saying that all is fair in love and war evidently didn't mean a thing to today's handsome young bridegroom. It seems that although his pretty bride had secretly admired him and he had secretly admired her since junior high school days, they just couldn't quite get together because he wouldn't move in on his friends who were dating her.
how their love finally found a way to start them on the road to romance and marriage. Our bride and groom wedding party here in the Chapman Park Hotel, and you listening in will be told by the young couple themselves just before they go out through the archway of trees to the lovely old chapel in the gardens to be united in marriage. First, as usual, it's our own Jack McElroy.
If you have an ordinary headache right now, don't let it upset your whole day. Just take 2 quick-acting Bayer aspirin tablets with a full glass of water. In what seems like no time at all, your headache likely will be gone. The reason Bayer aspirin tablets give relief so quickly is because they start to disintegrate within 2 seconds. You can see this with your own eyes by dropping a Bayer aspirin in a glass of water. Before the tablet has reached the bottom of the glass, it will start disintegrating. And hence, Bayer aspirin is ready to go to work almost instantly. Besides giving you the relief you want with amazing speed, Bayer aspirin also provides reliable relief. You see, Bayer aspirin has been used without ill effect by millions of normal people. When you buy, ask for it by its full name, Bayer aspirin, never for the name aspirin alone. 24 tablets for 25 cents, virtually 1 cent a tablet. Here come the bride and the groom, so here come the bride and groom on their wedding day.
Oh, my. What a very charming bride and handsome groom. Go ahead, folks, if you will, please. I'd like to introduce them. My bride is Miss Doris Butler, and our groom is Mr. Michael Murphy. And I wish that Jack and Gaylord would either play the same tune or sing the same tune. I mean, is this Monday morning for you? This is not your wedding day. Well, they're terrible. Are you nervous, Mike, or anything like that?
Just a little.
Just a little bit, huh? Well, I wondered, because Jack and Gaylord certainly are. This year's one of those days for you, though. You're prepared for it and been waiting for it.
Yes.
Thinking about it.
Yes.
Did that help?
A little.
How about you, Doris?
I'm nervous.
No, you look very happy. I'll bet Mike is more nervous than you are.
I don't think so.
No. Well, tell us about you anyway.
Well, my name's Doris Butler. I'm 22 years old, and I was born in Los Angeles.
Mm-hmm.
I've had most of my schooling here, except for a year and a half at the University of Redlands. And, well, that's all, I guess.
No mother, no father?
Yes. I have a mother and a father and a sister. Only she's married.
Mm-hmm.
She's in the family, though. But...
I wonder if you could have a sister and not have her in the family. Don't mind. What are you doing now? Do you work?
No, I go to school at Los Angeles City College.
What are you
now.
majoring in?
I'm an art major.
Are you going to be an art teacher?
Yes, that's right.
Are you going to work after you're married?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to finish school first, right after we're married, and then go to work.
You're going to go to work as an art
Yes,
teacher?
art teacher. Uh-huh.
Well, that's good. Would you like to teach children? I mean, are you fond of children?
Yes, very fond of children.
Good, well, that's good. No, that's wonderful. And you can come back and tell me about teaching children art, so that, what age they should start and so on. Mike, tell us about you.
My name is Michael Murphy, and I'm 22.
Michael Murphy, that is Irish. Red hair to go with it.
I was in the service for a while. I'm going to City College now.
Where were you born?
I was born in Spokane, Washington.
Mm-hmm. You live here now?
Yes, I do. I came here when I was about 5.
Oh, I see. So you're practically a native. Mm-hmm. You go to L.A. City College, too?
Yes.
What were you in service?
I was in the infantry.
One of the walking boys.
Yes.
That's right. How long?
For about 3 years.
Did you get around much?
Well, I got to Europe.
Mm-hmm.
I was in France and Germany and Austria.
In the battles over there?
Yes.
That was no fun. We don't want to talk about battles on your wedding day.
No.
Let me ask you this, Mike. We're speaking about being nervous. Were you as nervous at any time while you were in service as you are right now?
I don't think so.
No! Bring on shot and shell, but put a man before a minister with a girl he loves and he just goes to pieces. Well, what are you majoring in?
I'm majoring in geology.
You're going to be a geologist?
No, I wanted to teach it.
You want to be a teacher?
Yes.
Good for you. 2 teachers in the same family. It's going to be very interesting. What are your plans, if you don't mind? I mean, let's talk about your future first.
Well, we just want to finish school first. We haven't made many plans, but...
Mm-hmm. Going to live in Los Angeles?
Yes, we are.
Mm-hmm. And you're going to settle down here?
Yes, uh-huh.
Whereabouts? What district?
Well, we'll probably settle down in Los Angeles.
You going to be a school teacher?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
You plan a family? Plan to raise a family?
Uh-huh. Redheads.
don't think there's much doubt about him having red hair. Well, you, of course, know that this is the great day in your life, and we're happy to share some of your happiness, and if possible, do a little bit to increase that happiness. But before you go out where your clergyman waits, supposing you tell us a little bit about how you got here.
All right. Well, the beginning of our story isn't very romantic. It was awfully one-sided. Mike doesn't even remember when we met. He was in junior high school, and he was a senior and president of the student body and chief of the boys' athletic committee and everything, and I was just starting junior high school. We were introduced, but he didn't remember me at all, so nothing really happened. And I decided that I better not make much of a project out of him because it wouldn't do much good anyway.
You sure made a project out of it. Well, what happened now? You met it. What's the matter with you anyway, Mike? No eye for beauty or what?
Well, I don't know.
He had other beauties. He had other beauties, I think.
Other things in mind, I see. So nothing happened, and what happened after that?
Well, he went on to high school, and I went on to a different high school, so I didn't think I'd ever see him again.
But did you remember him that clearly?
Well, sure I remembered him. I thought he was cute.
Well, I sort of think so, too. The red look. No, I mean the red hair and all that. And her lovely blue eyes. They're really a very charming couple, very handsome. You have lovely blue eyes and sort of soft, light brown hair, would you say?
I guess.
Mike, what color are your eyes?
Brown, I think.
Brown. Not even sure of that today. So anyway, nothing happened at all, and he went on to a different school, and did you see him anymore after that?
Yes, because he started going to the church I go to, and so they decided to put on a church play, and Mike and I were cast opposite each other, so then I guess I thought it was time to start a project. And,
was there any kissing in this play?
Yes, not really, but I'll
put
tell you.
Yeah. I don't blame him. It's a great idea, so carry on.
He was just supposed to say... Well, we were supposed to be Chinese in the play, and I had a big black wig on, and he had burnt cork all over his red hair, so I don't think we looked too romantic, but he was supposed to just say, I love you, farewell, or something very dramatically, and he did that all the time up till dress rehearsal, and then all of a sudden he grabbed me and kissed me. That was kind of a surprise.
Kind of a pleasant surprise.
Yes, it was.
Yes, it was. Maybe he had a project, too. Probably did. So what happened then? Now you two were in this play together. Did he ask you for dates after that?
No, still nothing happened.
You mean he actually kissed you and then he didn't even ask you to go out with him?
I don't even know why he kissed me. I guess it just decided...
Oh, I know why. You don't have to explain that. I get the same ideas myself sometimes. So anyway, then what happened?
Well, then nothing happened, and he had to go overseas after that. And
you mean he went in service right after that? And how long were you gone, Mike?
3 years.
All the time. Well, what happened then? You didn't have him around, and he hadn't asked you for a date, and he's gone 3 years.
No, that was really... We called that our first kiss, but we don't call that our first real kiss.
You don't? Well, tell us about your first real kiss.
Well, he'll tell you about that.
Oh, all right.
Well, I think you better let him tell it now.
Take up from there, Mike. You were overseas 3 years. What happened during that time?
Well,
anything?
We were writing back and forth.
Who wrote first?
Oh, I don't remember.
We were...
I hope he did.
The odds are very greatly in favor of you doing it.
Really? Well, maybe I did.
Yeah. You're the girl with the project, remember?
Oh, that's right.
Okay.
We were pretty good friends anyway.
Oh, you were good friends by that time. What were the letters? Were they friendly? Were they factual?
They were friendly, yes.
Did they get a little bit more friendly towards the end?
Well, yeah, towards the end, when I was in Austria, I used to write and kid her about being one of the girls in my harem, and so she sent me a box top off of a box so she could join it. Yeah.
I hope it was Dr. Lyons. So anyway, you were teasing her about being one of the girls. What did you think about this? Is that discouraging to a girl who has a project?
No. Maybe I was the best one in the harem. I didn't know.
You're the only one in the harem from now on.
That's right.
And you remember that, Mike.
Yeah,
this is the head of the household. So anyway, what happened then? You were gone for 3 years. You wrote. The letters got more and more friendly.
Yeah.
Tell me, did they ever get kind of mushy towards you?
No.
Did they?
No.
Sure?
Positive.
Okay.
And then, I just kind of decided that when I was coming home that, I didn't have any other girlfriends, and so I thought I'd try and make Dolly be my girl. So I had a project, too, I guess you'd say then.
When you first got together after you came home, did he shake hands, or what did he do?
He just stood there.
Did you even kiss the girl?
No.
So, did you go right to see the young lady?
Well, no, I had decided that I was going to make sure that I had the right girl first. So.
Oh, fine. So, but you started dating her.
Well, I dated a couple other girls, and then I dated Dolly, and then I dated some more.
And then?
Well, we
dated some more. I know. Yes.
Well, I went away for a while up to Spokane to see my folks, and we wrote back and forth about every day and that.
Mm-hmm. How long had you been back when you started going steady?
About a month.
Mm-hmm. Tell me about this first kiss.
Well, we'd gone to the beach dancing, and...
Which date was this?
It was on the first date.
Oh, yes. Well, go ahead.
Oh, we'd known each other a long time.
Oh, sure. Well, I'm not disapproving. I just want to hear about it.
Well, we just came back, and we were in the car. We were double dating, and we got home. Well,
at the door?
No, in the car.
Oh, sure. Much better.
Yeah.
Did he only kiss you once that night?
No.
Kissed you more than once.
It surprised him, I guess.
Doesn't surprise me. Not a bit. Well, how long had you gone together when you decided that you had the right girl for sure, Mike?
It was about 3-4 months, I think, that we got engaged.
And you became engaged at the end of this period?
Yes, we...
Where were you and what were you doing when he proposed to you?
I don't know if he really did propose to me or not.
I have. Like thousands of times.
Well, tell me. Just tell us about it. Just tell us where you were and what you were doing when you proposed to her.
Well, she says it was on the bus. I don't know for sure.
Oh, you were on the...
That was the first time or not, I mean.
But it was one time. Yeah. You were just riding along on the bus?
We were going to a wedding. I guess it gave him an idea or something. And so he asked me if
well, wait a minute, let him tell me.
All right.
Now, we're riding along in a bus, you know. We're going along in a bus, and you two are sitting there. You're going to a wedding, and the conversation goes something like what?
It was kind of understood that we were going to get married anyway. We'd never spoken about it, you know.
You never mentioned it?
No, but...
Well, who understood it if you never mentioned it? You mean you understood it and you
yes.
let him know? Well, that's usually the way.
And so I'd all of a sudden decided that we should do it pretty soon.
So what did you say?
So I started asking her, and she wanted me to be quiet because there was too many people around it.
Well, gee, that's something to be proud of. You kept trying to say, let's get married, and you kept saying, shh.
I had to say yes to get him to be quiet.
You what?
I had to say yes to get him to be quiet.
Oh, I see. Well, we have for our bride her beautiful bouquet. It's a beautiful prayer book, arrangement of white satin streamers and white bouvardia. The corsage consists of 5 Hawaiian Vanda orchids. The matron of honor has a round bouquet of white carnations and tied with pink satin ribbon. The 2 bridesmaids have identical bouquets made of pink carnations and pale pink sweet peas, also tied with pink bows. All very beautiful, of course, and all designed by Mr. John Patrick Burke, our famous floral artist from Beverly Hills, who's wonderful. And you are?
I'm Marilyn Wiswasser.
Married?
No, I'm engaged.
Oh, Sue. And you?
June Farnham.
Married?
No.
Mm-hmm. You?
Vivian Hughes, sister of the bride.
Oh, I see. Fine. And you, sir, the best man?
Charles.
Are you married?
No.
Are you engaged?
No.
Well, there's a candidate down there. And here's a little fellow here. What's your name?
Frank
Frank. Are you related to anybody here? Yes, who? Are you related?
My aunt.
Oh, you're related to your aunt. I see. And tell me something. What?
To his mother, too.
Well,
She's a matron of honor. She's a matron of honor.
I see. Son, how old are you?
4.5.
I see. Is this your first wedding? First one you've ever been to? Do you like weddings? You think you'll get married someday? Yeah, you will. Have you picked out the girl yet? You picked her out? Have you? What's your name? You don't want to tell me. All right, well, it's really none of my business. We have for the best man the bride's wedding ring a beautiful band selected from Brock and Company of Beverly Hills in Los Angeles. A great name to jewelry. Isn't that a lovely diamond band? Goes in your pocket. Now, young lady, do you have on something old?
Yes, I do.
And new?
Yes.
Borrowed?
Mm-hmm.
Blue?
Mm-hmm.
Penny in your shoe?
Yes, I do.
All set. The name of your love song.
Thine Alone.
Thine Alone. Just a moment. Gaylord, is that the one you're going to play? Thine Alone. Jack, is that the one you're going to sing? Well, right now, as our bride and groom go down the aisle, out through the lovely gardens, down the tree-lined path that leads to the altar and their clergyman, Jack McElroy sings their love song.
In thine arms enfold me, my beloved. Let thine eyes look fondly into mine. For thy love bears a spell all too wondrous to tell. 'Tis a rapture that's all divine. So within thy tender arms enfold me. For thy loss the world could not atone. Beloved, I swear that I will e'er be true, and forever
Thank you, Jack. Well sung and well played, Gaylord, and you were together. I'm very pleased and proud of you, both of you. Well, right now, let's hear from my own Jack McElroy.
Ladies, in one respect, all toothpaste are alike. That is, all of them will clean film from your teeth, will sweeten your breath. But Phillips Milk and Magnesia toothpaste does more. Yes, Phillips toothpaste also protects the beauty of your teeth by actually neutralizing on contact the mouth acids that many dentists say are a major cause of tooth decay. And remember, these acids are in everyone's mouth. Now, Phillips toothpaste does this vital job of helping to guard against tooth decay because it's made from one of the most effective neutralizers of mouth acids ever discovered. An acid neutralizer whose remarkable efficiency is recognized by dentists everywhere. In addition, Phillips toothpaste brightens your teeth beautifully, and its cool, minty flavor wakes up your mouth, leaves your breath cleaner, fresher, sweeter. So for everything that any toothpaste can give you, plus the protective advantage that Phillips provides against mouth acids, get Phillips Milk and Magnesia toothpaste. Today, ask for Phillips, Phillips toothpaste.
I'm very pleased today to have here an old friend of ours that you all know, a very lovely young lady who is a star of many motion pictures. She's currently with Pine and Thomas over at Paramount, I believe. Miss Hillary Brooks. Come up here, if you will, please, Hillary. I'm very glad to see you again.
Wonderful to be here.
Thank you. You wanted to describe away our bride and the bride's outfit?
Oh, yes. I have it all written down.
Good. Well, that's good, because we don't want you to forget a thing.
No, I'm very nervous.
Well, don't be nervous.
Oh. Of course, all brides are beautiful. And I thought our bride was very old-fashioned and very sweet. She had on an eyelet batiste gown, carrying out the old-fashioned theme. The jacket is fitted with a peplum pointed in back over a small bustle. It's buttoned down the front and has a stand-up shawl collar, with a fingertip hip veil draped over a heart-shaped tiara with orange blossoms in the dip. She's also wearing a lovely old-fashioned locket, a family heirloom. And the bridesmaids were all wearing lovely pink dotted marquisette. They're also carrying out the very old-fashioned theme, which I like very much.
Oh, yes, so she had a hoop skirt in it. You said that, I guess.
Yes, she had a hoop in the skirt.
Very lovely girl. The groom, too, also. No one ever mentions the groom at the wedding party. Well, I don't know why. Grooms are not very important, but he had a cutaway coat and an ascot tie and striped trousers, right?
Right.
Good, right in the bottom. Tell me, if you will, please. Hillary, I haven't seen you for some little time. What are you doing? What are you working in?
Well, I've been very busy doing Big Town for Pine Thomas. I'm
the
playing
Big Town series?
Lorelei Kilburn, girl reporter. And it's a lot of fun. I love playing her.
And they're good stories.
They're wonderful stories.
What's the last one you made, the last in the series?
Called Big Town Scandal.
Is it out yet? Has it been released?
Oh, no, no.
What's the last one released?
I cover Big Town.
I cover Big Town.
I think it's playing throughout the East now.
Well, you're a very lovely girl. Are you married?
Yes. I know just how they felt.
Well, that's a swell job describing. I hope you'll come back and see us again soon.
I'd love to, Johnny.
And I'll be looking forward to seeing you.
Pleasure to be here.
Thank you
so
very much, Miss Hillary Brooks. So we want to congratulate Galen Drake on his new show, which covers the entire ABC network starting today. And so you may all hear his fine show. Simply check your local newspapers for the time. He may be heard in your area, and I know you'll enjoy his swell stories and the way he tells them. So here's another wire from Mr. and Mrs. Dick Fortune, our young couple who were married during bride and groom last Wednesday. and who are the first couple in history to have a honeymoon flight around the world. We were going all over, and what a wonderful time they're having. Here's the wire. It says, what a trip this is. We were met in London, England by Valerie Hobson and Gene Simmons, the English movie stars whom you saw in Arthur Rank's picture, Great Expectations. A wonderful picture, by the way. We had many taken. Pictures were taken with them and even took part in a radio show here. Also met David Farrar and Deborah Kerr, J. Arthur Rank picture stars, and I think they're in Black Narcissus or something, and a lot of other English celebrities, and it's signed Dick and Chris, these wonderful youngsters. But the P.S. is what I get a kick out of. It says, P.S. It ain't true. London Bridge is not falling down. Even on a honeymoon, they have time for things like that. Today, we particularly want to pay honor, as we do every day, to three couples visiting with us on their anniversaries. It's Mr. and Mrs. J.O. Garvin of North Hollywood, California, who've been married 57 years today. Mr. and Mrs. Paul Nelson of Burbank, California, married 59 years today. And Mr. and Mrs. J.H. McCabe of Los Angeles, California, our 60th wedding anniversary. Congratulations to all of you folks. And we have for you Mr. and Mrs. McCabe, as the couple celebrating the highest anniversary, two very lovely gifts in gold, two very beautiful, very thin, 17-jewel Groom Precision watches. Products of Groom Watch Company, and congratulations to you. Come back and see us on 61, and you other folks, when 57, 59, you come back on the next one, and I hope that next year we'll have gifts for you, too. Speaking of gifts, right now I'd like to show you some of the lovely gifts we have for our bride and groom, who apparently the ceremony is a little longer today, as it sometimes is. They don't even get back, because, of course, the wedding ceremony is far more important than anything else here. But I'd like you to see some of the things. This is the Phoenix Airfloat chair, the famous Phoenix Fireside Airfloat chair. It's really a beauty, and has a patented spring construction. Jack's just sat down in it. Boy, that is
very substantial.
Yes, it'd have to be to hold you up, Jack. And here's a makeup kit for the bride. This is the beautiful Max Factor kit. Miss Hobson probably used it over at Paramount in her pictures. Very lovely makeup kit. The wedding album, this is the pictures and all from Bernard of Hollywood and Palm Springs. As you see, it has formal portraits and candid shots. Very, very beautiful. And pictures of everything that took place here. And this is the Capitol record album. You know Capitol records your favorite artists, and they make a lot of fine albums. But this is our favorite album. It has every single word these youngsters said today, you know. And they can play it back on their anniversaries and look through that album, and boy, that will be memories of the most nervous day in the bridegroom's life. For their home, here's Silver by Gorham, of course. Gorham Sterling, since 1831, America's leading silversmith. Each day presents our bride and groom their choice of great many of Gorham's many exquisite patterns. The patterns today, English Gadroon, Greenbrier, Chantilly Lyric, complete service for 24 pieces of Gorham Sterling. Here's a radio for their home from Bendix Radio Corporation, the radio division of the Aviation Corporation, Bendix, so they can hear bride and groom we want them to. Because we always send them on wonderful honeymoons, we also want pictures of their honeymoon, naturally, to remember, to put in their album. So we give them this camera, the famous Argoflex camera from the Argus Camera Company, the finest they make. Has reflex action. You can see the pictures you take it. There's a year's supply of ink and film. And something else for their home that I think they'll really enjoy, the new 1947 Serval gas refrigerator. Serval, really the grandest refrigerator in the whole wide world that I've ever seen. It has 6 cubic foot of ice, of storage space. It has 96 ice trays, and the tiny flame is silent, no moving parts to wear out. That sort of gives them a little start.
To get some food in the icebox, a cut of Hayes Puritan ham to go in.
You know what we could say? We could say they're getting ham from a ham? Yes. Very appropriate. Well, and as always today, we have waiting outside here a big shiny black limousine with a uniformed chauffeur from Tanner Motor Delivery Company. And, of course, their honeymoon destination is beautiful Lake Arrowhead in the San Bernardino Mountains. The famous North Shore Tavern, one of several fine Albert's hotels, is where they're going to stay. And they're going to be driven out the airport by this Tanner limousine and out to Van Nuys. And there, in a brand-new Stinson flying station wagon, which is really a beautiful plane, Claude Gossett of the Gossett Air Service will fly them. He handles the Stinson planes this area. He's going to fly them up there. They'll go over beautiful citrus fruit areas through the belt of Southern California, up over the mountains, and they're going to land right on the Lake Arrowhead shore. There, Jimmy Alberts, their host, will be waiting to greet them, to escort them to a newly and tastefully decorated honeymoon suite. Very special honeymoon suite just for the two of them. And there's lots of entertainment. I guess you all know about that. Speedboat rides, sailboat trips around the lake. Special dinner parties are going to be served in the new colorful canvas-top glass-enclosed terrace room overlooking the lake at the lodge for them. They can swim, play golf, ride horseback, fish, or just plain loaf. Carl Meyer, formerly the Somerset and Townhouses of Los Angeles, has charge of the kitchens and their kitchens and their... Jack, I just had kittens. Well, he has charge of the kitchens, and he's going to fix the meals for him up there.
The buffet lunch served in the new pilot room was a special treat, and they'll be entertained by Ernie Schoen's orchestra because they can dance to it. Jimmy Alberts has everything out to see they have a grand time in the North Shore Tavern where everything is brand new this year. I know your honeymoon will be a memory. The honeymoon will be a memory that they'll always cherish as long as they ever... Here they come now back from the chapel. Very less than a minute, our lovely bride, very handsome groom. And very happy they are indeed. Congratulations, Mike. You made it. Come on up here. Oh, now that you're all so happy and everything. Are you all over your nervousness?
Yeah, a little bit now.
You know, we better toss our bride's bouquet. Will you single girls get up here now, please? And while we do that, Mike, you can take off some of that lipstick. Will you single girls come out here, please? Oh, we're going to have to toss it after we leave the air. I want to wish you to, of course, as we all do, health and success and a long, long happy time together.
Thank you very much.
I know you'll do it and you deserve it. Congratulations, Mike. I didn't think you were going to make it. You folks, Mr. Jack McElroy. We'll see the rest of you tomorrow.
Woman whose beauty is crowned by skin that stirs men's hearts. Skin that looks radiantly romantic, feels velvetly soft and smooth, whispers of love with its delicate, tempting fragrance. And it's because the marvelous new Phillips Beauty Facial is designed to give you skin that stirs men's hearts that so many beautiful women use it faithfully twice each day, morning and night. This is what you do. First, spread a thin beauty veil of the new gentle Phillips Milk of Magnesia cleansing cream over your face and neck. Instantly, it will loosen dirt and makeup, floating them on the surface of your skin. And as you tissue off this beauty veil, always using an upward-outward motion, you almost feel your skin breathing with cleanliness. Next, wash as usual with soap and warm water and blot dry. Finally, touch your fingertips to your new Phillips cleansing cream and pat very lightly on face and neck. Remove with tissue. Your Phillips Beauty Facial is complete. Remember, because the new Phillips cleansing cream, unlike thick, heavy, ordinary creams, is superfine in texture, you need use just a little. Leaves no greasy afterfilm because it liquefies instantly, tissues off easily, cleanly. So for radiantly romantic skin that stirs men's hearts, enjoy the Phillips Beauty Facial. Get the 30 or 60-cent size jar of PHILLIPS. New wonderful Phillips cleansing cream today. Jack McElroy speaking. Bride and Groom with John Nelson comes to you every day, Monday through Friday, at this same time from Hollywood.
If you're often tired, your doctor may find you have a borderline anemia resulting from a ferronutritional blood deficiency. Then help build up your energy by building up your red blood cells with the help of ironized yeast tablets. That's ironized yeast tablets. This is ABC, the American Broadcasting Company. Casting Company. Casting Company. Casting Company.